Hello, hello, my fellow ringers. I hope I find you well and making an O symbol with your hands. It is Saturday, and I cannot wait to enjoy anime night without the good stuff. God damn it. We're getting felted tonight. Too many good series have ended. Too many good series are about to end. We're not gonna have anything to look forward to for the next 2 weeks until we get to like nonsense. Can you believe that? I don't know, some people can. It's only the people who care about anime. You know that shit? That filthy gaijin shit. Probably gonna boot up later tonight, but I'm only watching the pre-stream today because I have no intention of watching him play Elden Ring. It was kind of funny. I had him on the background while I was fucking working yesterday. I didn't seem to have a good time. I think I had more fun watching Bossman Jack lose a whole shit ton of money. He was on a losing spree, and it was so terrible. He's lost all 160k that he had won. No. That's okay. The rats are just having a lot of cheese to eat as of late. Could you imagine that? Rats are eating good. I wanted to see if I could update. I hate this because I've been trying to update this fucking plugin for Discord forever. And it's just, they haven't been letting me do this forever. Just want to update this stupid plugin. Oh my god. It is, am I actually going to be able to update this plugin? It's been a whole fucking, it's been a whole month. I didn't think it was going to let me. No way. Let me sign in. I don't fucking know what my sign in is. I actually don't. Can we sign in with Twitch? Yeah, there we go. Oh, maybe work. I don't know. Holy shit, no way. I think it may have actually updated it. Nope. Of course it's not going to. Oh, but it did actually update this time. Hell yeah. Fucking hell. I was looking forward to that forever. You guys can't see it. It's okay. You don't have to see what I'm doing, but I'm basically updating a plugin that I haven't updated in such a long time that it just wasn't working properly. And now it's going to, yeah! Whoa, I can now mute myself. All right, let's see who's in here. Pick up Zerglue, Aces win, Cyberangel Yukaze, the awesome one, and Algernon. Hello, and welcome. Let me switch. I want to listen to DSP's mixed bag feelings when it came to last night's Elden Ring. He had a 13-minute daily rap. You gotta be kidding me. How much did he fucking hate this thing? I feel like we're fucking pooing on this game, and he's been drumming it up for, fuck me, he's been drumming up this thing for like 3 months. We pretended we had nothing going on. I mean, he had nothing going on, but like, you know, extra. It really didn't have to be this way, but he's making it out to be a lot bigger mountain and molehill situation type deal. Let's swap this, swap this, swap this. I think I have what I need. Nope, of course not. Let's listen to this guy. I gotta hear what kind of cool ass nonsense he has to tell me. He's gonna tell me all about how the game was amazing and it didn't suck nuts and he wasn't getting his ass kicked, and he didn't already accumulate 50 fucking deaths. What did we have to say today?
And welcome to the Daily Wrap for what was Friday the 21st of June 2024, also known as Elden Ring DLC Day. Yeah.
And he sounds so depressed saying that. Like he's the one who made up this fucking holiday. We didn't make up. Okay, it's not like Juneteenth where it's just a made up holiday to give us an excuse to have more holidays. I don't care who celebrates Juneteenth, but I mean, it's basically what it is. All holidays are paid up until it's like corporatized and stigmatized and fucking mixed, chopped, screwed, and served up in a fucking silver platter. But like, he's been selling this for fucking months. And now he's kind of like depressed.
Yes, all day long I played Shadow of the Erdtree.
All right.
I'm here to give you a very, very summarized opinion of what I think about it 5.5 hours in. Playing it all day today on stream. And then we'll see. So, podcast today was jam-packed. We had a lot to talk about. It feels day off, a ton of game news. Of course, we hyped.
I'm sorry, I got a little antsy.
So watch it if you missed it. Tons of interesting stuff discussed there. Notably like game news. There's like 5 big game news stories today.
God damn it.
And then we jumped right into Shadow of the Erdtree. First of all, great news is my footage looks amazing. My footage looks really, really good.
My footage is great, guys.
Super duper crisp, clear. All those issues I used to have with pixelization and blurriness, riding through fields and doing stuff seem to be solved. And no more major frame droppage either, unless the game is actually doing it. Okay, I do have to play the game on performance mode, and I try to play it on quality mode. It actually chops up on PS5, but on performance mode, it's pretty damn good. Okay.
Yeah. This is an abject lie, by the way. He was complaining at length that when he put it in performance mode, like there were areas in which it was quote unquote chopping up. You can actually see it in his recording. He even complains about it. That's kind of lame that he's like trying to rewrite this history when he was like actually making a big deal about it.
In my opinion, after 5.5 hours of the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC, there's some good and some bad. The good is that when you get to something like a legacy dungeon, they're quite fun. They're well designed.
Dungeon?
What's interesting in that regard. And I would say so far, you know, with the
wait, what?
DLC, there's some good and some bad.
All right.
The good
and the bad
is that when you get to something like a legacy dungeon, they're quite fun. They're well designed.
They're fun and they're designed.
Interesting in that regard.
Interesting in that regard. Which regard? That they're fun and well designed? And they're interesting? Which regard is it? I don't get it. Yeah, I guess the SSD isn't working as well as he thought it would. I don't understand what he meant by this. I'm assuming he's like trying to say it's pretty good for the old shit, because I think he's just saying the old shit was good.
And I would say so far, you know, with the combat and some of the enemy variety, there's a good amount of new stuff to do in the game. In that regard, I like that.
All right. Now,
there is kind of a trick to this DLC.
All right, what's the trick?
And the trick is the game devs said one thing, and this is totally incorrect according to the DLC.
Right.
The game devs said the DLC will be about the size of what, Limgrave and some of Caelid and stuff like that. And the peninsula, right? It's like Limgrave, the peninsula below it, and Caelid. And they said that everything will be like hyper condensed. There's going to be so much packed content into this DLC that even though it's smaller than the world map of Elden Ring, it's still going to be a 30 to 40 hour experience worth the $40 price tag they're charging.
Okay. Watch. This complaint's going to be great.
There is a ton of open world in this game with nothing going on.
No.
The initial area you show up in is a ginormous field.
Bro, does he want like everything to be like a miniaturized dungeon? Is this what we want? What does he actually want with this complaint? Because this complaint is such a nothing complaint. It's basically saying, Jesus Christ, there's just way too much stuff here. Because if there was too little stuff and like everything was tiny, he'd be complaining, well, this DLC isn't really worth it. This DLC is actually a rip of my money because I'm getting basically nothing. Let's actually be real for a second. We know what his complaint would be if it just was too tiny. So now we're complaining, well, there's too much space. I mean, yeah, I guess. So just go to the next thing. They even said, I don't even know where he's getting this idea that they like false advertise anything. They basically said it was going to be, I want to say, a large fraction of the main game. That it was going to be like a 40 or 50%. Like I don't even know the specific numbers. But they didn't advertise it as like, oh, this is going to be short and bite-sized and shit. They said this was going to be like an actual pretty big world. You were going to get a whole lot of content. Are we actually complaining that there's too much content? This guy is such a fucking asshole when it comes to this shit. I swear to God, I have not fucking seen this whole thing that he's about to do. But I can already feel what the complaints are because he was complaining about this all night. He wanted to make a big deal about this shit. At the end of the day, you're getting a lot of stuff for your money, man. Think about it from the average consumer's point of view. I don't know. Just fucking stop complaining, man. Even DSP realizes he has nothing else. This is a weird segment. DLC is the size of Limgrave and the Weeping Peninsula with an underground region as well. Great, and it looks like it is too. It didn't look like he had to run around way too much. It looks like he was just having trouble with the areas that he was given, and he didn't have anywhere else to go. So he's just fucking mauling about it.
Full of sheep and ghost gravestones. And you might say, well, what's the point of the sheep and ghost gravestones, right? There must be a point to it being there, right?
There is no point.
No. It's literally filler.
Oh,
this game has insane open areas with nothing going on at all.
Filler.
And they've purposely put in filler stuff like that
content.
To make it look more busy.
No way.
But in reality, it's completely empty with nothing to do at all.
Dude, has DSP ever listened to his own pre-streams before? You could make the same argument with a DSP pre-stream. It's full of filler. Phil just talks at us for multiple hours at a time, and he doesn't really say anything. He wastes our time with like 40-minute plus Q&A segments. And then he gets to the game that everybody was waiting for. And then they all get collectively disappointed. Because that's what ended up happening, right? That's literally his own content. Why are we complaining about this? They're basically following the DSP model. Make bullshit content and then stretch it out as much as possible until people get tired of it.
I don't know why they did that. They claimed it would be more condensed. It doesn't seem any more condensed than the main Elden Ring was. There's just giant open areas to ride through that there's nothing happening. Now, obviously, the intention is for you to explore. I was shocked to find there's optional dungeons. Yeah, just like the main game. There's jails.
Optional dungeons.
Catacombs. All those dungeons from the main game are in this again. No way. It's kind of like, now wait a minute. The main game, the reason you did those is because a lot of the times you could find critical pieces of armor, weapons, spells, incantations, etc. And of course you were trying to level up, so it was always good to go in there and get the runes or whatever, right? So what's their purpose in this game? Well, pretty much equipment.
So the same thing.
Can you get runes in there? Yeah.
So the same thing. They serve the same purpose then. Yeah, you can go in there, you can get runes, you can get fucking armor and equipment and shit. You can get fucking, like smithy stones and shit. What's your purpose over here? It's the same thing. Did you want them to be different? Did you want them to be like inconsequential at all? You didn't get rewarded? Or did you want them to be epic quests where you could complain that you're having to go to mini dungeons and they're reusing it? What did you want out of it?
But, I started this DLC at level 150. It takes 150,000 runes for you to level up. So even clearing an entire dungeon, I barely hit that. So it's like, I'm not really going to get much of a reward for doing one of these.
Yeah, you're over leveled. That's the problem. You're over leveled. I don't even know what the minimum level requirement is, but this dude is way too over leveled. Like, that's been the problem since the start, and he knows it going in. I don't know how they've retooled and rebalanced everything. Hand to God, though, he is like at least a minimum of 20 levels over the amount that he needed to go in here in the first place. And now he's complaining, well, I'm not really getting a whole lot of EXP or anything. There's no reason for these rewards at all. Bro, they're giving you a whole bunch of stones because they're assuming you're going to upgrade the new equipment that you're finding. That's just kind of what they're doing right now. They're doing it because they're assuming you haven't gotten to the end of the game. And this is supposed to be before the end of the game, and an alternate, like, challenge and shit. I'm being an asshole about all of this, but this guy is being an even bigger asshole about complaining about the things that he, like, overdid. Literally, he overdid, and now he's complaining the game is what, too easy, too hard? Well, it definitely isn't too easy. Not from last night. He got his shit pushed in several times. He died like 20 times against one fucking boss. He gave up on it and walked away. He wanted to look for something else to do. Found a different type of boss, and then started getting his ass pushed in again, too. Fucking Jesus
I've done
Christ.
two. One of them was
Won't craft anything,
jail,
so he's
which was
soft-locking.
different from any dungeon that was originally in the game.
Not
and it was
surprised.
full of pots, and I think it's a unique dungeon full of these pots.
Not
you get pot
surprised
items,
at
you
all.
can get like a cool helmet. So that was neat, and there was a boss at the end that was unique, but looked like just a super-powered regular enemy.
It's not
and now I ran
anymore.
through a catacomb, and the catacombs are absolutely terrible, just like the main game. It's boring, it's repetitive, everything looks exactly the same. It's meant to trick you and just be frustrating. I got to the end, and I'm currently fighting a boss at the end. I didn't get a chance to beat him yet. But for the most part, I don't know what my reward will be for the catacomb. Maybe the boss will drop a weapon or something.
He actually already knows what the reward is going to be from that catacomb. He kind of already looked it up. It's kind of why he gave up on where he was going and he swapped over to that. I don't even know where the fuck he is right now. I actually don't. I saw a little bit of it, but originally he was fighting, what the fuck was it called? It was like some fucking lion, some dancing lion or something. And he was just getting his shit pushed way too much. And then all of a sudden after 20 deaths, it's like, yeah, I'm going to go over randomly to this area. And he beelined for it. So I don't know. I feel like he's already kind of started to look up guides and he's going to look up hints. And I feel like we're going to magically know where to go. And at some point he's going to discover, like, if you actually have to craft shit, he's going to all of a sudden discover, yeah, man, actually, you know what? Let's craft this. Even though he was mocking the game for having craftables and nobody actually does that shit. And by nobody, I mean DSP, because DSP is the only one who doesn't do anything and everything in the game. The thing that it tells you to do in a game. No, JC, I'm not gonna please anything.
Speaking of which, you know, I told you guys what I was gonna do is play it and hopefully find a couple good weapons that I would want to switch to.
And he hasn't.
And change my build up, right?
He hasn't.
So far, day one, I haven't really found anything.
Yep.
You know, a couple big strength, a lot of strength dex weapons, like tons of strength dex, a giant hammer or mace or something.
He
big deal.
is
Big fucking club like anything else in the game. A couple
he
swords.
Wants to swap
you know, one
off
of them it splits
and
into
do some more
dual
magic,
swords.
but
It's kind of fast, but
he's not gonna get
I don't really
it.
want to go for like a fast, speedy,
or he might,
dex
but
style build.
I don't think he's gonna get it quick.
Do claws that you put on your hands, kind of like Black Panther's claws in Marvel, where it slashes things. I tried it; it looked neat. The problem is, it only hones in on like one enemy, and it's like these crazy flipping style attacks and stabs. And I feel like it would never work on a big enemy. Like it would never work on a boss. It would only work on like a singled out enemy. Maybe you could overwhelm. It's a bleed build weapon. But I'm looking at like all the weapons I got today. Not a single one was anything I was really interested in. Absolutely no magic weapons whatsoever yet. Game. They're all just kind of like straight up melee. You know, smash with a big weapon or slash with a quick dex. Nothing else. So I'm waiting for more variety. I'm hoping there's going to be more than that. But 5.5 hours in, nothing's impressed me. I did get a good variety of armor.
Really
I did put on some new
magic.
armor and a new helmet today.
He wants to
cool.
keep the magic build.
Now, time for my major criticism.
All right, here we go. That wasn't the criticism. By the way, all of that wasn't the criticism. That wasn't the major criticism. We were just fucking around just now. Now to get to the part where he's going to be really pissed off and he's going to tell you his real, true, and honest feelings about this game and how it's pissing him the fuck off. Oh, okay.
Dungeon. Cool. I go inside. I do the whole dungeon, no problem. I get to the boss. The boss of the dungeon kills you instantly or with 2 hits. So you can literally not kill this boss yet. Okay? And I say to the audience, I'm like, it's not hard. Like I could hit the boss for damage. I'm hurting the boss.
It's hard.
The problem
but,
is I can't learn the boss's
difficult.
pattern because it literally kills you after 1 to 2 hits. I got to the second phase.
Hard, guys.
And the second phase is harder. And I'm like, well, I'm just gonna die instantly over and over. Obviously, I'm not leveled enough. But the thing is, I'm level 150 something.
Dude, this is what I mean. He's way too over leveled. He's coming in here. He's not even doing the things that he's supposed to do. I don't know jack shit. I only know the base of the game for Elden Ring, and I know roughly 150 is way too over leveled to get to the end of the fucking game. I was higher than, that's literally higher level than I was when I fucking beat the game. So he goes in there, he thinks he should be able to steamroll shit. He's not steamrolling shit, and he just assumes he's just under leveled at this point. And that's definitely not the case. The actual reality of the situation is this dude is not doing the things that he needs to do inside of that fucking dungeon. Collecting whatever the fuck he needs to collect, whatever it is, just to actually beat this. And he's not gonna do it until somebody actually holds his hand. You gotta hold his dick all the way through and be like, Bill, this is how you beat it. This is how you get through this segment. Please don't cry. It's okay, Philip. Man, this is gonna suck. This all fucking sucks, man. 150 is recommended for the... You are goddamn kidding me. 150 is the recommendation. No fucking way. 150 is overkill for the last boss. That's wild.
Like, how much bigger do I need to fight this guy? And everyone's like, well, it's because of the new system. Well, what's this new system? You have to find new crafting items in the environment. They're either called Sadu tree shards, okay?
And they're
hidden in various different places. Sometimes you kill
a
guy holding a pot and he has one. Sometimes you'll find one just sitting in a statue, okay? And when you find these, when you find a certain amount, I think it's first just one, that it's groups of 2, later on it's probably groups of 3. You level up, but not really. All that happens is you artificially get more damage output and more damage resistance.
So you level
up. In order to stand a chance against basically the bosses.
I'm gonna listen to that one more time.
The game, you have to go grind and find these fragments. So I want you to think about this. You're playing the game, you're exploring the open world, you find a few, you level up. Great. You go to the first legacy dungeon. This is cool. I love it. Having a great time. Get to the end, you just can't do it now. What? Yeah, you just can't beat that boss. It's impossible. He's gonna kill you instantly almost every time. So instead of fighting him, go play more. All right, I'll do that. So I go out to the open world. I'm finding more upgrade items. I went to that optional jail thing. Got that. I find a dragon in the environment. Oh, cool. It's one of the dragons. And by the way, same pattern as all the other dragons that were in the main game. Just this one's a different element.
It's also kind of bullshit.
So I'm dodging everything. I'm kicking its butt. And I realized something. I'm like, I've been fighting this thing for 5 minutes. I'm not even half down its health yet. I'm not doing any damage to it. Why? Oh, because I didn't find enough upgrade items yet. So I can't beat the first major story boss because he kills me in 2 hits or 1 hit.
Yeah, he's definitely
I can't kill the optional dragon boss because I can't hurt it. Why? Oh, you didn't find enough upgrade items yet. Like, wait, but I already leveled up like 2-3 times. Oh no, you need to upgrade like 8 to 10 times. Once you do that, then you can take on these bosses. Wait, what?
What?
So let me get this straight. You don't want me to actually play the Elden Ring DLC.
You want me to
just
play this game?
The relatively empty, boring open world.
Let me get this straight. You want me to play the game where I have to look at the stupid ass fucking world and all the stupid ass shit that's inside of the world. You're telling me that I have to look at all of this shit, find things within this shit, and actually play the game instead of beelining it to the first boss, the second boss, and the third boss, and just steamroll it? Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what it is. It's basically, yeah, it really is just like the first game. It's like the base part of the game. Instead of you going to all these places and trying to like fucking steamroll everything, which you could do. If your build is good enough, fuck it, you could probably do it. But instead of him being able to beat these things, it's being said, hey man, you should probably play the game. Instead of trying to cheese shit, you should probably, I don't know, do the shit that we're telling you to do. You could do it, but you're going to get heavily punished because you don't have enough damage resistance, nor can you do enough damage.
Just miraculously coming across these upgrade items.
I'd be pissed off too,
finding enough to upgrade that, then I can actually take on the fun stuff in the game. And the answer is yes. They created a new artificial difficulty mechanic.
Oh my god.
Even if you go into this thing leveled high, it doesn't matter. You will not be able to take on the bosses until you find enough upgrade items. And I'm like, that is incredibly stupid.
Why? Why is that incredibly stupid? It's supposed to make sure that somebody like level 300 isn't going to come in there and just wipe out the DLC immediately and then tell you the story. Because if you could do that, then it would kind of fucking defeat the purpose of the DLC. Man, okay, let's take this into DSP's stupid ass fucking world of logic. If somebody was level 500, they've New Game Plus the shit out of this game. They come in here, they want to do all this fucking content. How long would it take them to do this content under the old system? They kill everything like almost instantaneously. They wouldn't have any challenge. Because that's what he's basically implying. We need to have this shit happen, right? Correct? Dude, what a dickhead. What an actual fucking dickhead with his fucking logic. He doesn't care. Because if that happened, people would be spoiling. It's like, oh yeah, here you go. Here's the ending. Here's how everything goes. Here's how everything works. Under his own fucking rules and logic. With his logic, a rainy day fun is where it rains. I know that's the rainy day logic, but this is such a fucking piece of shit logic that he's like coming up with. He's arbitrarily saying that, yeah, man, you shouldn't actually change how the game is. But, okay. Dude, this is the same guy who was complaining about games being the exact same way when they re-release or remaster or make a new anything to it, right? They don't change up the formula, they don't change up the systems. Well, now he's encountering an instance where they changed up the system. Now they're giving him like, oh, well, in reality, you need to get all of these items. These items are gonna dictate whether or not you can do damage. You can skip them if you want, but if you skip them, you're not gonna do enough damage. Now he's complaining about it. Like, changed up the system. I don't like the way this new system is. Give me the old system. The old system was better. Because, I don't know, it was easier that way.
Really? That's a bad system. I don't want to waste time exploring and grinding in this relatively
his
boring,
time is so valuable.
empty open world, just looking for where these upgrade items are. I want to play the game. We can't do that. Can't play it. You have to search for the upgrade
Can't play
items
the game?
in order to
Game's
make progress once
unplayable.
you hit certain points.
I can't play this game,
I wish I was
guys.
making this up. I'm not.
I
That was
can't
my
play it.
experience today. I started out having a lot of fun. I was liking it. I took on a giant wicker man enemy, beat him, took on a bunch of optional bosses early on. They were tough, but I beat them. Got to that first legacy dungeon, enjoyed the whole thing. Get to the end, completely stonewalled. No way you could beat this boss yet. What?
What?
Why? Why'd they do that? Oh, leave and go grind. Okay, I will. Spent 2 hours in the open world exploring, grinding, getting a couple. I think I did one major upgrade after that, Sadhu tree or whatever it's called. And then I said, like I said, I did an optional dungeon, did a second optional dungeon. But I'm not really finding the upgrade items that often. So I feel like I'm gonna have to explore open world another 5 hours. Just exploring, grinding.
I'm gonna have
getting
to
map
waste
pieces,
time.
getting the upgrade items before I can even go back and fight that boss. I think that's incredibly stupid. Like, the boss should be tough because it has a tough attack pattern, right? Or, you know, you need to rethink your strategy. My strategy works. I deal damage to the boss, but I take one hit, the fight's over. You ever played a fucking From?
My strategy works. It's just the enemy does too much damage. I mean, yeah. Over time, I guess you could bash your head against the wall and eventually you'll win against the wall. But maybe your strategy isn't optimal. Maybe that's the problem. You have an unoptimized strategy.
Here.
I want to hear that again.
Is getting the upgrade items before I can even go back and fight that boss. I think that's incredibly stupid. Like, the boss should be tough because it has a tough attack pattern, right? Or, you know, you need to rethink your strategy. My strategy works. I deal damage to the boss, but I take one hit, the fight's over.
What's up, Fred?
You ever played a fucking FromSoft game perfectly flawlessly?
I don't think
you
he's
never
gonna
get a hit?
bring up
what's
Doc
that?
Drama.
I mean, I'm not gonna play the whole
I
DLC
hope
like
not.
that. Where I have to sit there for 4 hours
You
on
won't
each
even
boss
know what it's
memorizing its
about. I
pattern.
don't.
You know what I'm saying? So that I never take a hit. That's absolutely
What it is
ridiculous.
I'm saying?
So obviously it means we have to go waste time grinding, finding the upgrade items, and that's stupid in my opinion. It should come naturally. Like, this first boss shouldn't be, oh, go out, go up. It should be, okay, you got to the first boss, cool, beat it, then you get to the next area of the game. Now you explore, get the upgrade items naturally on the way to the next major dungeon. Now, oh, go back and grind in the open world before you can even beat this. That's dumb. So I'm gonna be honest, I liked it for the first 3.5 hours.
Yeah,
and
why
then
did
once
you
we
like
hit hour
it?
4 and it
Bro, why did DSP like it for the first 3.5 hours? It couldn't be the fact that he made $180 on the first half of the day. That couldn't be it. Because I would imply that on the second half of the day, when he was like only looking at $10, 15 fucking dollars, that he didn't like it. And that's definitely not the case, right? Correct? Because if you told me that, that would mean that DSP only cared about the money. And I kind of feel like the money buff did kind of make him feel better about this. But even without the money buff, or even with the money buff, I think he was kind of suffering. If he had $150 that night and he couldn't progress, I think he would be less scathing, but he would probably still be kind of pissed off. Let's be real.
Became apparent there is no way you can make major progress in the DLC until you go open world grind and explore. I was very upset. I was like, this sucks. I'm bored. I don't want to do that.
I'm bored.
I want to play it and have fun with it, not waste time for hours. Because like tomorrow I'm playing it again.
Stupid.
Literally the entire 3 hours tomorrow may actually be just exploring the open world looking for upgrade items. That's it.
Wow.
Instead of doing anything meaningful. It might just be just look around, look for upgrade items. Is that a fun stream? No. Is that fun to play? No. But that's how they built this DLC. You know, in the first game, everything's meaningful. Anything you fight, you get the moves, you level up. Here, it's meaningless. Like, now I'm level 150. I've already got diminishing returns on leveling, so leveling's pointless. I need to find these specific upgrade items, and that's shitty. I actually feel like that's a really bad way to do the DLC. I think they thought it was going to, like, make it equal for everyone, but instead, all you've done is you've stifled my ability to have fun. You're literally making me invest time to waste in a boring part of the game I don't like.
You guys tried to make it equal for everybody, but what in the end, what you ended up doing, FromSoft, is you ruined my fun. Yes, you ruined my fun. Now I can no longer have fun. This is your fault.
You know, I already said it. The open world of Elden Ring's vanilla Elden Ring is the worst part. Is the open world. It's the big shortcoming of the game. Anytime you're in a legacy dungeon or you're fighting a big epic boss, it's fun. The moment you go to the open world, it bored again. And that's what they've done. The whole thing is like, oh, just explore open world again. What the fuck, Miyazaki? Like, what are you doing?
What are you doing, Miyazaki?
Anyway,
get your head on.
Mixed feelings about it. All right, so tomorrow, daytime stream. Obviously, I'll talk more about this on the podcast. And daytime stream, we will do 3 more hours of Elden Ring DLC. I got to finish this optional dungeon I'm in. We're at a boss. It's like a Dragon Knight boss. So we're going to kill him. And then we're going to go back to the open world and explore and figure it out. And then tomorrow night, Stardew Valley to break it up and have more chill fun, which I'll need by then. I'll definitely break it right. So. Guys, thank you so much. By the way, it was a pretty well-supported day. The first stream was very well-supported. The night stream was okay. But, you know, I know that it's not going to probably keep doing that every day. I'm not expecting that full support.
I'm not really caring about the
money portion. Thank you guys for supporting. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I'll see you tomorrow for another full fun day.
We'll see you. Thank you.
It gets fun,
Bye-bye.
and it's not just
Thank
open world boring grinding. Guess we'll see.
Hopefully it's not.
Have a good night. See you all tomorrow. Enjoy the videos. Peace out.
He literally said it's going to be open world boring nonsense. But then he says at the end, hopefully it will not be this. I mean, it basically will be. He's already told us it will be. So just, you should accept it at this point. Don't accept nothing but mediocrity. I thought he got a bunch of tips right away. He did. Super majority was from one guy, and most of his positivity was at the beginning of the stream. So, I mean, he should be feeling good. He's had a good amount of views too. It's been a long time since DSP has been able to say that he's been able to break 500 views. Because nowadays, he's lucky if he can get even a fraction of that. Let's be real. Okay, I want to listen to the pre-stream, but only the pre-stream that contained DSP talking about us Elden Ringers and shit like that. Detailed game mechanics story review. Oh yeah, he talked about Still Wakes the Deep. Kind of tried to set that up as like a big deal or whatever. YouTube's triple thumbnail feature, don't care. Okay, Elden Ring DLC and character plans.
Use Zangief again. The only problem is,
oh my god,
because of it,
dude,
it is what it is. You know,
right.
it's you know, oh well. I've put in my time. I tried as much as I could to play with each character rebalanced since the patch came out last month. I didn't even get to Blanca. I just didn't have time. I don't play the game enough to really have time to go through 5 mains at this point.
You got maybe 10
so
in total.
I'm starting to really debate whether or not I want to have
5
5 mains or if we're going to just drop them and focus on maybe 2 to 3 characters top.
He had 15 from like 2 people, and then somebody came by at the very, very last second and gave him $20 to make him feel better, which is still pretty good. You can't scoff at $35. But let's be real. Even if he had like even if he had $300 last night, I think he still would have been pissed off. The core problem is that he's not. It's not just him being able to fucking railroad everything in the game. It's him having to deal with the fact that the game is actually giving him some pushback. And he doesn't like being pushed back when it comes to these games. He wants to just, you know, one and done them. Get on to the next thing in the conveyor belt.
I'm very curious to see how Bison plays and if I'm going to like him or not. We'll have to see. So anyway, So there was a great streaming day on Wednesday. I had a great time, good final day of the week. I was off yesterday, so now it's time to talk about my day off. This will not be a long segment because, quite frankly, I just didn't do it a lot. I went out and I did my errands, which I usually do, and it was very hot, so I was trying to get them done as soon as possible without being, overheated in the sun.
I was in the sun. I was kind of baking. You could smell the bacon cooking, and then I
came
left.
home. Spent time with my wife. We watched a ton of BattleBots. We really like this BattleBots Fight Night show.
Little robots.
We're now in the second season. That's available.
I mean, I guess it's fun.
Max. I think it's like 2019 season. We just really enjoy the show. The bots are fun to see beat up, and the commentators are good and everything. Like, it's a good show. So we just relaxed. We had some fun.
I don't know why.
We had a couple drinks.
It's just kind of funny just to hear him talk about BattleBots, because it's like, it's such a, like, who cares? Like, actually, who the fuck cares? But he talks about it at length because that's the thing that she likes watching, and then he inadvertently likes watching because she's watching it right now. It's just like when they were listening to tribal music or whatever, African tribal music, and then all of a sudden that fucking went away, and now we get to listen to whatever Cat's listening to because that's the thing that we like. We like whatever our wife likes. I guess that's a good way to not be in the doghouse.
Nothing too special, just kind of spending time together, which is needed. It was nice to unwind and just have a relaxing day.
He doesn't normally spend time with his wife.
Some people got to play the Elden Ring DLC early if they had it on PC, which is weird to me. It released.
Some people got to play the Elden Ring DLC early. I think everybody got to play it earlier than Phil. 99% of the world's population got to play it earlier than Phil, because Phil's dumb ass took the day off and he like hung out, watched BattleBots with his wife, which you can say, oh, well, he needs to do that anyway because it's his wife and he should hang out with his wife and family comes first, right? Well, I mean, you could have also moved the day off too and you wouldn't have this complaint, so don't bring it up. Literally, do not bring this up if you're just talking about and bragging about how you hung out with your fucking fat, obese wife on the couch.
At 3 p.m. on PC,
that's how it didn't
release until 9 p.m. on PlayStation 5. So even if I had been streaming yesterday, I still wouldn't have played the Elden Ring DLC because it didn't come out till 9 p.m. my time. I don't know why it released so early on PC. I rarely do you see that, right? That PC gets it like way earlier.
Why would PC get it earlier?
I don't know.
But
it is what it is. Of course, people were talking about it all over the internet, and I had to dodge all the spoilers, which I did. I managed to avoid all of the spoilers about the game. I really don't know what to expect going in. Besides, it's apparently very easy. I've heard it's like the easiest thing they've ever put out. Super simple.
I don't know what to expect. It's pretty easy, though.
Every enemy, it's kind of a pushover. So you could just like glide right through like you're on ice skates, like Iceman on his ice platform. You go wee, you just skim right through the DLC, having a good time. It's like a walking tour rather than anything too challenging and dangerous. So that's good.
It's funny that he says this because he is joking, but at the same time he's gonna come back and he's gonna hate it because he knows he's joking. But then he gets like that reality check that, wait, it is actually kind of pushing my shit in and I actually have to do things. So it's kind of fun seeing this after seeing the daily wrap, how much he was making fun of it.
I'm excited for that. I hope that you guys will join me for it today.
But outside of
that, that's about it.
Experience Elden Ring.
I purposely just kind of stayed away. I did get a bunch of game news for today, which we're about to talk about.
Oh my god. I don't care about this game news. I
avoided any kind of major spoilers at all, so that's a good thing,
ESP
right?
Game news is the worst.
So,
it's never anything important.
Outside of that, nothing much else to talk about on my day off yesterday. Let's talk about the schedule for the week, then we'll get into the game news portion of the show.
We didn't even get the food
schedule
segment.
For the week. Today, it is Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. Literally all day long. All first stream, all second stream, all Erdtree, all the time. All in. I don't know. It's too many alls. Yeah, all day. And I don't always do that, but essentially, I felt like because this is the biggest release of the year for me, it really is so far. I wanted to put in the time. Friday Night Fights can wait. We've been doing a lot of Street Fighter recently. It's all good. Yeah. So all day long. Now, any of you who played yesterday are way ahead of me already. So I'm in no rush here. I'm going to be playing this as the major stream all week long. Next week, there's going to be a balance between this and some Street Fighter stuff. So I want to get in as much as I can before then, before Bison releases on Wednesday of next week. By the way, I guess I didn't update the schedule. We're trying to type the schedule for some reason, even though I literally just said it's Elden Ring all day. People are trying to use the schedule command and it's outdated. So hold on, I guess I have to fix that.
Oh my
Friday,
God.
June
And then he just wastes more time.
Elden Ring DLC all day long. There you go. I didn't put a time or nothing. There you go.
Jade's crying in the corner.
Simple.
Yeah, Jade is crying in the corner.
Okay. So today, Elden Ring all day long. First stream now. Second stream tonight, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. We're gonna get around 5 or more hours of Elden Ring in today. Tomorrow, Elden Ring on the first stream, and tomorrow night, Stardew Valley chill. And you know what? After having played it 5+ hours today and 3 more hours tomorrow, I think I'm gonna need the chill. I'll probably be like, yes, I get to sit back and relax now for a couple of hours with my audience, rather than, play this insanely easy cakewalk of a DLC. So it'll be perfect. Yeah. All right.
You see how much he's making fun of this? He keeps making fun of this. Oh, it's not going to be that bad. Blah, 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 blah. Well, I know he's doing this on purpose. He's trying to tell you that it is going to be hard, but he's like making light of it. And he's saying, well, it's going to be hard, but it's okay because I'm ready for it. Blah, 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 blah. Like he's doing this thing where he's effectively saying it's going to be hard, but he's like trying to get you hyped up because it's going to kick his ass. And then he just kicked his ass. And then he's like, man, this is fucking stupid. I hate this. Like, it's so great to hear all of this before it actually happened. Because you knew it was just going to be bad.
Sunday is React Day. Okay? Sunday.
Wow.
Reacting
Sunday,
all day long.
Day?
It's going to be DSP versus the Internet clip show on DSP React on the first stream. And then on the late stream, Retro React finishing up Rise of Nightmares over on DSP Throwback. And once we finish reacting to Rise of Nightmares, we're going to have extra time because there's only about an hour left. So then we're going to swap over and we're going to continue with the Dark Souls React that we were doing months ago. Makes sense to continue it now, considering that Elden Ring will be the hypest thing. It'll be cool to be reacting to an old FromSoft playthrough while playing a modern FromSoft game, right? Very nice. So Monday, more Elden Ring DLC, and then Monday night is going to be Street Fighter 6 Zangief. Tuesday, more Elden Ring DLC, and Tuesday night we'll do more Stardew Valley. And then Wednesday is the release of M. Bison in Street Fighter 6. So much like we did with Akuma, I'm going to be purchasing the character, and we're going to use him all day long. We're going to see what's up with M. Bison on launch day. Hopefully I can learn him fast, and maybe I can take him into ranked and even get master. Because with Akuma, what I really felt...
Remember when he was trying to do that with Akuma, and then it didn't happen? I mean, he could still do it with Akuma, but for him to do that, it would require him to go online and actually not complain about how he's getting his ass kicked. Because, that's what happened.
I had the momentum. I had him on the way to master. But then when I started playing with ranked, I had all that input delay. This was before I fixed my graphical issues and got the new capture device and everything. So because of that, I felt like I was playing underwater, and I just couldn't get him past 5-star diamond. It was just every match was like sluggish, and I couldn't do shit. Now I'm gonna have the better setup, hopefully with Bison. Maybe I can even get Bison as a day one master, which would be really, really cool. Yeah, hopefully I do well, but I don't know how he plays. I literally have not seen Bison gameplay at all. I haven't paid any attention. Yeah. So I'm gonna be going in cold into this on Wednesday, and we'll see how that goes. Now, next week, we will balance Elden Ring with other things. It's not just gonna be non-stop Elden Ring forever, but obviously, I wanted to play a lot of Elden Ring this launch week while the hype is big and everyone wants to see as much of it as possible early on. Next week, it'll basically be Elden Ring on day streams and balance it with different stuff at night. Some nights will be Street Fighter, some nights will be Stardew. We may every once in a while alternate and split it up with like a day of Fallout just for variety. We'll see how I want to do with that. I'm not sure.
I forgot he was playing
Elden
Fallout.
Ring will essentially be the major focus with Street Fighter 6 squeezed in there with Bison every once in a while. Okay? Now, a few odds and ends. Some people have said, well, when is the next time I'm going to do some content with Brian, top tier rated over on Twitch? Well, I'm already busy with Elden Ring right now.
Yeah,
and I wanted to wait for Bison to come out. And when I talked to Brian, I'm like, what we'll probably do is wait a little bit after Bison's out, maybe a couple days, and see if we want to set up a lobby where we can maybe both try Bison against each other with other characters, etc.
So
we'll talk about that when we get to it. That's
He's
over
never
a week
coming
away,
back.
so I'm not really too
Brian's dead.
going crazy here to try to schedule that
No.
yet, but there will be probably something going up there. Outside of that, we have been talking about the possibility of another special marathon event. It seems like people are eager to have a marathon, like party style event coming up, which I'd be happy to do. We're talking about different ideas. Maybe it's just gonna be like a summer bash style party where we do a variety of things. Perhaps I could try out that new Nintendo World Championships game coming out and do some challenge runs in that. Maybe do some random online play in various games. Have some booze, have some food, you know, party style atmosphere, nothing too serious where we have to absolutely get through a certain amount of games or anything in a period of time. You know, we haven't done a tier maker in ages.
What?
Maybe we could think of like a summertime tier maker that we could do that's themed.
A tier maker?
And we could do something like that, you know?
Oh, get out of here. Tier maker is such fucking low content. Never do
So
a
let's
tier
continue to
maker
think about that.
Get
We
out
won't
of
get too
here.
heavy into it today because I got a lot of news to cover and I know you guys want to get to Elden Ring, but let's keep brainstorming that. Figure out when would the best time to be to do that. Maybe late July, maybe early August, I'm not sure. Also, keep in mind, the Great Migration is coming.
Whoa.
What is that?
What does that
Well, the Great
mean?
Migration is the fact that I'm going to migrate from my 10-year-old aged PC to my wife's PC over the course of the summer. This will hopefully increase my abilities to do things on that PC, including being able to use a Stream Deck device, which I've had sitting around for several years, donated by a fan, but it doesn't work with Windows 8, which is what I have on that PC. Having the capability to possibly go with higher quality. Maybe I can do 1440p on-demand video and streams. Right now, you're watching this stream at 1440p, but it's actually just an upscaled 1080p. I might actually be able to broadcast at full 1440p.
Yeah, he's committed to this
So that'd be pretty neat.
nonsense.
You know, basically, there'll be some great things in addition to what I already am doing.
Hopefully you're
So I'm
ready
happy
for
for that,
greatness.
and maybe, you know, we'd be able to do it sooner rather than later, but I don't know, because it really depends on how long it takes for Elden Ring to finish. I want to get the Elden Ring DLC done before I start doing hardware upgrades, and if something goes wrong, then I can't finish something. You know what I'm saying? So I figure, let's do Elden Ring. Let's do this Bison content in Street Fighter 6. Let's get to a point where maybe we're ready to start new content. And, you know, there's been a lot of discussion about what that would be.
We're already in new content now. What other new content does he have to start? We're on Elden Ring DLC. In fact, part of the problem that he has is he started so much new content, he's never finished any of that new content. He just starts it up and just walks away from it. So I don't think he needs to start up more new content. I think he needs to stop actually starting up new content. And he needs to complete the content that he kind of, you know, forgot.
Would it be System Shock Remake? Would it be me
System
going back to a
Shock.
game that I had already started
What?
and resuming it? Would it be
Bro.
this new version of Riven that's coming out?
Seen stars.
I don't know if you were aware, but there's a new,
Remember that game?
remake of Riven coming out that maybe
Riven.
would run on my mini PC, but I'm not sure. I don't know. There's all these options, right? So
We can play Ribbon, guys. You know how much you
let's
guys want
all
one of those.
talk about this over the next month.
Let's
We can
talk
talk about
about
all
it.
these events and things coming up and start
Let's
to plan them
discuss
out.
it.
But I know today everyone just wants to talk about this DLC, so that's what we'll talk about. Okay. All right. So without further ado, because we have shout outs to do and everything today, people are going crazy, which I appreciate. I think we want to start with the game news. Let's get the news out of the way. We have a lot of game news to discuss today, guys. So let's get right to DSP news.
Hate DSP news.
Here we go. We're off.
It's never anything
First
on the
of all,
news.
humongous update. YouTube is going to cancel all premium subscriptions bought using a spoofed location.
Oh yeah.
The platform is cracking down on subscriptions with the
I
site.
forgot about this because in his mind he's thinking that this is the ultimate solution against what is it? Against people that are giving him Argentinian subs. So that's why he wanted to make a big deal about this. I mean, it is and it isn't, because it's hard to tell where that is unless you're looking at the billing information, which they're going to be able to. But I feel like when it comes to the gifted subs, it's going to be less of a problem than it is for the Prime subscriptions. Because when it comes to YouTube Prime, that's money out of like Google's bottom dollar. But when it comes to gifted subs, that's a little bit of a different story. That's more controlled by the YouTuber. and they're the ones who are taking any kind of hit or penalty if it's not in the right currency. So realistically, I can see why there's a focus on doing this first for Prime sub, but I'm not gonna hold my breath in this actually being a solution for the future for gifted subs. I don't believe that for a second. I'm sorry. I just, you know, I have no faith in Google and Google fixing shit. It is kind of like a final solution. Final solution for YouTube style problems. And we're not going to expand on that. We're going to just leave that comment as it is and make you think on what it is I was talking about. Sounds good?
No country doesn't match user location. I'm going to read this word for word.
Yeah, he's happy
if
about
you
this,
use the VPN to purchase a YouTube premium subscription
like
in a country where it's cheaper,
right
your subscription is on the chopping block.
Criminals,
over the past few days, several people who used the trick reported their subscriptions are all canceled. The workaround involves using a VPN to change your location to a country where YouTube Premium is offered at a lower price. For example, YouTube Premium costs $13.99 a month in the US for ad-free access to videos, YouTube Music, and offline downloads, but just $1.05 per month in Argentina.
Yeah, there's other countries
familiar?
Too. Look at him.
But now it looks like YouTube is cracking down on subscribers who don't actually live in said countries.
They're not
in a statement to The Verge,
shit.
YouTube spokesperson Paul Pennington says the company has systems in place to determine the true location of a user. In instances where the sign-up country does not match where the user is accessing YouTube, we're asking members to update their billing information to their current country of residence. He doesn't actually say if they started automatically canceling subscriptions, though. So, this is in regard to YouTube Premium, meaning when you pay $14 a month to remove all ads from YouTube, to be able to get YouTube Music, to be able to download videos and watch them offline. I actually have that.
My employees are doing the work.
I have that right now. And that's how I get ad-free YouTube for things like when we do the React show and stuff like that. By the way, YouTube Premium, I strongly recommend it. It's very, 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 very...
Look at that, nice. Inserted in. We're like an hour... No, we're 30 minutes into the recorded segment, but we're technically an hour into the actual stream segment. If you were to know how long DSP runs music and whatnot. And he's basically saying, yeah, and here comes the part where I, you know, bring up Dollar Shave Club, but in reality, it's just the YouTube Prime segment. This is the advertisement segment. He doesn't even market as that.
Useful. It helps out content creators. If you watch any videos or streams on a channel and you have YouTube Premium, essentially you're paying the creator a little bit of money.
It doesn't help me. I'm not monetized. How does it help me, Phil? How does it help me, a non-monetized on YouTube person, a content creator, if you will? I get nothing if you have YouTube Premium. Didn't really think that one through, huh?
Their content, they get credit as if you were watching all the ads on the channel. So it's nice, okay? It helps out everyone in the community.
Every penny counts.
So YouTube is finally acknowledging the fact that people are using VPNs to buy these things at a discount. So just think of it this way. It's $14 for YouTube Premium, and they're getting it for $1 because they're buying it through Argentina.
Whoa.
So again, if my memberships here on this channel are $3.99,
we talk about memberships.
Do you see the discount that they're receiving?
Yeah.
They're receiving an insane discount. So they're probably paying what, like 20 cents, not even, for the membership.
Yeah.
So that's why
you're probably
these people are doing
here.
gifted member bombs of 50 memberships, and they're paying like $2 for it. You know, it's insane.
It's not even about gifted subs.
YouTube has acknowledged the problem when it comes to YouTube Premium. If they're already acknowledging the problem with YouTube Premium, it definitely means that they've caught on, and they're basically going to start doing the same thing for these memberships. So I'm just going to...
It's not that they caught on. It's because it became a problem for their bottom line. DSP is so stupid, he thinks this is supposed to help the content creators. I mean, it does and it doesn't. Ultimately, this is to help YouTube continue to make money because they've been hemorrhaging money for a fucking long time. Happy Father's Day. You do the best you can with your Rye child. Guy with two names. I hate the fact that I got to deal with Rye on a daily basis. But thank you so much. I know he's a problem child and we'll try to deal with him with however way we can. It's a struggle every single day. Sad wings noise here.
Forewarn anyone, if you got a gifted membership from one of these essentially bogus member bombs, you know, you're gonna probably end up losing it now. All right.
Scaring them.
Listen,
this
that's
is a weird
fine
scare tactic
because
we're doing, by the way.
I hate to say it. What happens is it just kind of it lessens the value of being a member of the channel if everyone just gets one, right?
Oh, what is the value of being a member on DSP Gaming? You don't get anything other than access to stupid ass emotes that you can only use on that channel. He hasn't even swapped them out for like different fucking emotes. He has that ability. If I'm not mistaken, like they fixed that problem where you couldn't swap out emotes once you got a certain amount, a certain level, a certain tier, like hit at a previous point. But they fixed that, didn't they? So he should be able to swap out all of these cool ass emotes for other emotes. You know, all those amazing emotes that we got on other channels that we don't ever stream to except once a week. And the content is so fucking shit and we talk about how shit it is. Remember that one time DSP was streaming on one of those other channels and he showed off fucking porn? And it was from Argentina? And it had Derek on there? That was kind of weird. Why did he do that? Looks like he needs to fix his fucking tiers and levels of support, you know?
Like the fact that some people get access to the emotes, the fact that you don't have to watch ads on the channel, you know, that's important stuff. That's why it costs something. Not that everyone just gets it by default because YouTube is stupid and doesn't acknowledge this problem.
Yeah,
the thing is, we've been telling YouTube for years about this problem.
We've
YouTube's been aware of it.
YouTube.
Only now are people starting to do it with the YouTube Premium. That YouTube is actually losing a ton of money, and now they realize, oh shit, and now they're trying to fix it.
YouTube's just been losing money? YouTube's been losing money. It's not a secret that YouTube has not been profitable for years. Actually, for years. Even when Google snatched it up, YouTube hasn't been fucking profitable. That's why this dude has gotten a cut from like all of the deals that he used to have with stupid MCNs and shit. They stopped existing because it wasn't profitable anymore. I mean, you can still make money on YouTube, but YouTube itself is like, it's propped up by Google, man. It can't self-sustain because people like this, assholes like DSP, upload worthless hours and hours worth of fucking content. Nobody fucking watches it other than the detractors. And then all of a sudden it's got to be meaningful enough for YouTube to make enough ad revenue on? I don't think so. I'm not convinced. I don't think YouTube has had a profitable year. Yeah, they really haven't. I can get his emotes for free right now. Yeah, you could. Emotes are about him getting money. It always is. This is always just the bottom line about how he can get some money out of all of this. And it's kind of disgusting how he like dresses it up and like fucking dances around it.
So, excuse me. So anyway.
That being said,
I definitely strongly recommend that you get YouTube Premium. First of all, it helps everyone. Number two, if you, again, it's only a matter of time before these fake gifted memberships goes away. I don't know how long. They're already saying they're doing it with YouTube Premium. You figure out the next rollout will probably be these fake memberships on the channels. I'll keep an eye on it and try to figure out if and when it happens.
DSP's gonna keep
because some
an
people
eye
are
on
already
it.
in the chat, no lie. They're saying, oh, does this mean you're going to start tracking member goals again? No.
Nope.
Because right now it's not rolled out. We don't even know. You know how slow
not gonna
YouTube
track
is, right?
shit.
Like 3-4 years ago, they said they were going to make changes to stuff that now they're just getting around to. So we have no clue if and when they're actually going to get to doing this. I would hope it's sooner. But who knows, right? I don't know. Anyway, this is good news. At least they've acknowledged the problem outright. Even said outright Argentina. Like they outright know this is the problem, that it's people spoofing Argentina at this point. Okay?
Damn Argentinians.
Continuing on.
Oh well.
The 1994 live-action Street Fighter movie starring Jean-Claude Van Damme and...
I'm going past this segment. This segment's a worthless segment. Street Fighter movie, we don't care. Black Myth Wukong drama. I didn't hear this. What's this drama?
I mean, if you really want to talk about something that was bad, go watch the Street Fighter cartoon. Okay?
Anyway.
Okay. Continuing on. We have a big update in regards to Black Myth Wukong. If you remember, it was surprisingly and shockingly announced about a week ago during Summer Game Fest that Black Myth Wukong would not be coming to Xbox consoles at launch.
Whoa.
Now, initially,
what does that mean?
Of course, all the drama queens in the gaming community have to come out and immediately start pointing fingers at why Xbox wouldn't be getting the game on August 20th. Right. And everyone says, oh, it's got to be the Xbox Series S. It's got to be because the Xbox Series S is underpowered and they just couldn't get this goddamn thing to run on it. And so it's all Microsoft's fault. Well, guess what? Microsoft came out with a statement. Here's the statement. Are you ready?
Right.
We're excited for the launch of Black Myth Wukong on Xbox Series X and S and are working with Game Science to bring the game to our platforms. But we can't comment on the deals made by our partners with other platform holders.
Whoa.
We remain focused on making Xbox the best platform for gamers, and great games are at the center of that. You understand what that means?
No, because
without directly saying it, this Xbox spokesperson is saying Sony paid money to get it first.
Okay.
They have a paid exclusivity deal, and that's why they're delaying the release on Xbox. It has nothing to do with the Series S.
Great.
So, if that's the case, quite a lot of people in the game space have egg on their face.
Dude, what does it mean for Phil in the end of the day? He's just making fun of people reporting on a story, which he doesn't even know who specifically he's blaming right now. He's just blaming a lot of people. And he didn't even understand this story until a lot of people even talked about it. So now we're going to talk about this. We're going to pretend that we knew all along in reality it was going to be a certain way, even though we really truly didn't know. And it doesn't matter because DSP is going to play it early anyway. He's going to get it on the PlayStation and he's going to fucking play this thing. And he's probably not going to even like it too. If we're lucky. If we're lucky. I don't think we're going to be blessed that much with that.
Because they were 100% blaming Xbox and Microsoft, saying it was their fault for having underpowered hardware, but in reality, it's a shady behind-the-scenes exclusivity deal.
Yeah, imagine behind the scenes.
And are you surprised that Sony didn't outright say this? Because a lot of these exclusivity deals are very much being frowned upon in the modern day. Everyone's like, everything should just be cross-platform, right? So why are you still having these paid exclusivity deals? I mean, Microsoft just bought essentially Call of Duty, and they said, day one, everyone gets Call of Duty across the board the same. There will no longer be timed exclusives and shit like that. So it's basically right on the heels of Xbox doing that, Sony says, oh, we're going to pay exclusivity for Black Myth Wukong and not tell anyone.
Okay.
So there you go.
So there you go.
So yeah, it sucks.
What does this mean for anybody?
I guess it's still business. It's still valid business. There's not a heck of a lot that you can do about that.
It's still okay.
All right.
We don't care. Next.
Just announced. This was just announced not even 24 hours ago.
We don't care.
There is a new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game being released on July 17th, not even a month away. It is called Splintered Fate, and it is a rogue-like adventure on the Nintendo Switch.
No, we can't play that.
I saw some footage of it.
Words.
It literally looks to me like Hades.
Switch?
So it's Ninja Turtles Hades.
Bro, then you should like it.
That's fascinating. Why it's on the Switch, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be available on other platforms. I couldn't seem to find that information.
Bro.
If it's just on the Switch, I feel like that's going to like way underpower it. You know what I'm saying? Like if this game were cross-platform, you'd probably get a pretty decent...
Dude, if it was cross-platform, do you think he would be playing this? It's a rogue-like fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. That's not even up his alley. He doesn't like roguelikes. He's complained multiple times about playing those, which you would imagine he should like them. Because he likes, what is it? He likes fucking Hades anyway. But Hades was a different thing. Hades he was able to beat. He didn't have to complain about Hades a lot. He did complain about Hades, but he only complained about it, you know, when he was having trouble. And then when he found the cheese, all of a sudden, it didn't matter. Oh, come on, man. Let's be real.
Sales, but if it's only going to be on the Switch, I mean, you're going to get some people to buy it, but that's really isolating in my opinion. Like, I'm interested in it. I was looking at it, I was like, it doesn't look that bad at all. The graphics look decent, and the gameplay looks fun. It looks like Hades with Ninja Turtle characters. So I'm like, oh, this could be really good, actually. But it's only on the Switch? I mean, I could play it. I have a Switch.
Yeah,
but I'm just wondering how much appeal it's going to have. So I'm kind of interested in it. I don't know if you guys...
What does it fucking matter? It's a single player fucking game. It's not like it's going to be gated over the fact that, well, nobody owns a Switch. Because number one, more people own a Switch than they do a PS5 and a fucking Xbox right now. Facts. Actually fucking facts. I know you're going to be like, and you're just being a Nintendo show. Let's be real for a second. the fucking PlayStation has been having difficulty selling units. Nobody has been adopting it as much as they were for the fucking Switch. And yeah, the Switch has been out longer, but you don't have a whole lot of titles that like make you want to go out and get a fucking PS5 right now. That's just the long and short of it. Number 2, it doesn't have to be graphically intensive. If it's going to be something akin to like Hades, graphics aren't the selling point. It's going to be the gameplay. So you don't need to have something with like high graphical fidelity to play. It just has to be a fun fucking game. Number 3, it's a fucking single player. You don't have to worry about like other people not playing it, like, you know, Marvel vs. Capcom and shit. It's a single player game. Who the fuck cares? You're either gonna play it or you're not gonna play it. Fucking move the fuck on. This is so oh man, this is, you know what I want to say. You know what I want to say. Twitch, you know what I want to say. This is regarded as fuck. I gotta bite my tongue sometimes.
You're doing that right now.
Yeah,
dude.
basically that. It's basically very Jade-like behavior right now. And it doesn't need to happen, but he's like forcing it to happen. God damn it. This guy needs to not be allowed to play video games sometimes. They need to take away his license. Sir, we've been having reports come in. They've been saying that you've been playing games. We're gonna have to take that away from you.
I'm actually gonna put it on my calendar for next month. That's probably right about the time that we'll be wrapping up things like this DLC and you know, playing a ton of Street Fighter 6 and stuff like that. So maybe it's something that we would want to consider. So TMNT Splintered Fate, July 17th. Here we go. Cool.
July 17th.
And last story of the day, which I find absolutely hilarious. Are you ready for this?
Are you ready for
if
this,
you
guys?
didn't think that Microsoft are a bunch of fucking jackasses now.
Wow. Oh, this is a really good transition. It's a really, really good transition. We were shitting on Sony just a second ago.
For 24 months.
And we're about to shit on fucking Sony.
Badass over here. Thank you for
No,
sticking by
we
me.
were shitting on
Hello,
Sony. I'm
best
sorry.
friend in the world.
We were about to shit on
You've been
Microsoft.
scamming memberships for 2 years now.
Yeah, I've been working the long con. You guys have been tricked, duped, and otherwise made unaware and unwise to the scam that I've been pulling for 2 years. I've been existing and streaming.
Wait till you hear this story. Are you ready for this one?
Hear this, Bache.
Head of Xbox Gaming, Matt Booty, was interviewed. And
it's the
during the
Booty guy.
interview, he was directly asked to his face,
All right.
what do you have to say about closing Tango Gameworks, a studio that just a year ago released the hit game Hi-Fi Rush? You greatly praised the game. The game is so good, you even are putting it cross-platform, but then you've closed the studio. What do you have to say about that?
What do you have to
Are
say
you
for
ready?
yourself?
Because here you go. You're going to love this one.
You're gonna love
trust
this,
me on
guys.
this one. All right?
Sit down. Don't get up.
If you want to know a guy whose name is fucking appropriate.
Okay.
Just because there was a lot
You
of
made a
work
mood
that
joke.
went into delivering Hi-Fi Rush, which was a great game and did well for us, I think the thing to be considered is that for us, it's as much looking forward at a situation as much as it is looking back at one certain game. There are a lot of things that go into success for a game. What leadership do you have? What creative leadership do you have? Is the team the same team that shipped something successful previously? We have to look at all of those things together and ask ourselves, are we set up for success moving forward? And while there are many that have been factors or situations that previously led to success,
Sniff, sniff.
they may not all still be in place as you look at what you're doing moving forward. So if you have no idea what Matt Booty is trying to say,
Does
all right,
DSP know what
he
he's
is
trying
alluding to
say?
the fact that Tango Gameworks used to be led by Shinji Mikami, the former creator of the classic Resident Evils, right? The original Resident Evils, the GameCube remake, Resident Evil 4, and all those. Now, if you don't know, Tango Gameworks made The Evil Within 1 and 2. The Evil Within 1 was a huge hit. Even though, admittedly, I felt the game was kind of too linear, didn't really have much in the realm of like side content. It was just a lot of like standard kind of Resident Evil 4-ish gameplay in parts. I still think it was a fine survival horror game. It actually had a bunch of DLCs that did well. And then,
in case if you forgot he was reviewing something,
they made The Evil Within 2.
He's burping the entire time.
And if you're not aware,
by the way,
The Evil Within 2,
he's super gassy.
Flopped.
And he just keeps burping and
you might
burping
say, well, wait a minute. If The Evil Within 1 was such a huge hit, why did The Evil Within 2 flop? All right, well, let's see.
Mikami not being there.
It had better graphics. It had more gameplay elements, including entire side content areas to explore with side stories, new kind of gameplay, new puzzles, creepy atmosphere.
It probably was crap.
It still had an incredibly scary plot line.
I'm gonna say
it actually had a definitive story and ending, unlike the first game that was insanely open-ended and you didn't know what was happening by the time you finished. This one actually had a definitive ending that made sense, and it didn't actually end up needing 2 to 3 DLCs
he just likes the name of the
to answer the questions
he doesn't realize
of the game.
There. No, he doesn't.
So where did it go wrong? Well, the answer is very simple. It didn't. It didn't go wrong at all. The problem was the game wasn't marketed. At the time that Evil Within 2 came out, almost no one even knew the game was coming out. With Evil Within 1, the game was massively marketed. I saw advertisements.
You know what? I actually do remember this game. Wait a minute. Did I restream Evil Within? I'm thinking about this for a second, and I actually think I did restream this. Hold the fuck up. Wait a minute. Time out. Where's our channel? I feel like I did restream this. And it was fucking bogus as shit. And he didn't care about it, and he kind of like dipped out. I mean, he played it, but like nobody really gave a shit about this game, let's be honest. I think I did. Looking through my channel right now. I'm gonna know. I'm gonna scroll back like a year and a half and I'm gonna fucking know. I'm gonna see it by, yeah, it was. Oh shit, yeah, I did. Hold up, I did restream this. This was when DSP was trying to do Overwatch 2. And then he swapped over to Evil Within? I can't even remember what the storyline here was. It was something. It was something else entirely. RIP Overwatch 2, DSP gives up the hype, quick funeral service for a botched job. And then he played this game. And I don't think he cared about it. I actually don't even remember if he cared about it or even if the chat cared about it. I don't think nobody gave a shit about this. Holy crap. Did he even finish this game? DSP Gaming, Evil Within 2. I want to see. What was the end of the Evil Within 2 playthrough? There is no way that this was... Oh, he played it originally. So he just played it again. No way. What were we doing before? I actually don't know. I actually really don't even know. He must have been doing something. Yeah, no, he did just Evil Within again. That's what we were doing. Okay, I was really fucking confused. He did, you know what? He must have liked this game. If he played it that much, 99 parts, but they're all like fucking, it's a scam list of like 30 minutes or something. No, it's a scam list of like 13 minutes long. God damn. Back when we could spam videos like this. Happy End, amazing game. Yeah, he did like this game. Okay, I take it back. He liked it. He said it was a good game.
Physically in stores. I saw them all over different places. There was billboards, there was internet advertising out the ass. You knew Evil Within 1 was the horror game to play that year. Evil Within 2 got like none of that. So it was just like, well, just, you know, ride on the laurels of the name Evil Within 1 and hope everyone buys 2. Problem is things change. And in a few years after Evil Within 1, there had been other horror games, right? Resident Evil had actually come back to the forefront after being known as kind of like losing its way. It had returned to prominence, and so a lot of people just thought Resident Evil when they think horror, and so you needed to basically market the crap out of this game and basically push it in a way, and they did not. Bethesda failed the Evil Within 2. They
Yeah,
really,
we'll
really
see if
did.
Bean
They
comes back.
messed
I
it
wasn't
up.
paying attention
They
to
should
chat. I'm
have
like
been
half paying
advertising, pushing.
attention to
They did
chat.
none of that. So Evil Within 2 flopped, not because it wasn't a good game, but because people didn't even know it existed, and other games ended up overshadowing it because of it, and it didn't sell. Okay? What ended up happening then was Shinji
Wonder how
Mikami
this
was
is
upset. He was like, we made a
related
great
to
game, no one paid attention because the
DSP.
company I'm with sucks.
How's he gonna bring
We're
this
owned
back
by a
to
bunch
DSP?
of dipshits. And he said, fuck this, I'm leaving, and he left. Rightly
Did he
so.
actually say that?
If he's making great games and no one plays them because
Shouldn't
the company
Mikami
he works
actually
for
say,
doesn't
"I
fucking
hate
promote them,
these dipshits"?
why would he continue to make games no one's gonna play? Right? So he left. Then they went and made Ghostwire Tokyo, which was a flop. Why? Because
Whoa.
Ghostwire Tokyo was supposed to be Evil Within 3, but Mikami left. When Mikami left, they had to completely retool the game from the ground up to change it into something different, and it ended up being underwhelming because of that. And then they made Hi-Fi Rush. And by the way, do I really have to say it again? Does anyone remember when Hi-Fi Rush released what Microsoft did?
What did
They didn't
do?
advertise it. They literally shadow dropped it. They announced out of nowhere during a Microsoft showcase event or
Yeah.
Xbox showcase event.
You know those fucking Xbox showcase events? Those things that get no views whatsoever and nobody ever fucking watches them? That thing. They just happen to shadow drop it there. I'm almost positive they did some levels of marketing for that game. Probably not the degree that he wanted, but they probably did some level of marketing, and DSP never paid attention to it. Because it's a fucking rhythm game. Who the fuck cares? The only reason why he picked this shit up was because it was on Game Pass. Literally because it was on fucking Game Pass. He played it, he liked it, kinda. His fans really didn't fucking like it, and he proceeded to say it was a really, really good game. Which, you know, in all fairness, it is a good game. It's just DSP supporting a fucking industry that's making games like that go away eventually, because they don't make money. And the reason why they don't make money is because they're on fucking Game Pass. So what are we even complaining about? Are we complaining about the studio shutting down because they're not profitable? Yeah, they're not profitable. They're under Game Pass. It's a studio that got bought out by Microsoft. If they were smart about it, they wouldn't have made the deal in the first place. But they did anyway. And a lot of companies are going to face this eventually if they're under Microsoft. They got to put out enough games and they got to do it with as little fucking overhead as possible and as little cost as possible. And if they don't, they get fucking shut out. Whatever. I don't even care. Oh yeah, we are building up Skip Juice. I just wanted to hear this. I don't even care about this segment. I wanted to hear he fucking talked about Xbox forever. Let's see. Elden Ring, Spaceballs reference, unbanning a longtime viewer. Wow, that got its own 3-minute segment. Word of gratitude. Discussion of Elden Ring builds. I don't care. Open chat. Performance versus quality mode. Hey, this is the last segment I want to listen to right here. Performance versus quality mode.
I was wondering what graphical modes the game has on PS5, because remember, right now I'm much better graphical quality than I've ever been before. For example,
yeah, we're just building
look
up
at my graphics
Skip
settings.
Juice right now. Don't worry. After this like 3-minute
I'm
segment.
on 1080p, but
I'm gonna swap back.
I have 120
I'm gonna
hertz
listen
output.
to DSP's
All right,
fucking
and
dumb
I have
shit.
VRR enabled.
He doesn't even know what VRR is.
Yeah,
I like when he
VRR
says
is
shit like
enabled.
that. I got VRR.
So basically, I get absolutely all the best frame rate, refresh rate, everything on all games.
Dude, VRR, if I'm not mistaken, it's just variable refresh rate. So if you have VRR, that means it's just fluctuating. So when he sits there, he's like, oh, I'm at 120 hertz, but I have VRR enabled. It's like, yeah, it can go up that high, but it doesn't always.
I talked to you guys about this. I said, should I play this at a higher resolution? And everyone was like,
Okay.
no. Everyone was like, seriously, no.
No.
Don't do that.
Don't do this.
Go to,
No.
just say it at 1080p. If you run this at a higher resolution, it's going to be choppy. So I booted the game up and I said, what are the graphical modes that are in the game? Okay, it has 2 modes. It has performance and it has quality. I turned on quality. By the way, I'm still in the Melania boss room. So I turned on quality. All right. And I start walking around. Immediately the game's choppy.
Womp.
I was like, I got this on variable refresh rate, 120 hertz. I'm running around just the boss room. There's nothing in the room. It's empty. And it's fucking choppy on quality mode. I put it to performance mode and it was smooth. I was like, It's been 2 years. They didn't optimize this game at all on PlayStation. I don't even think they bothered.
Yeah.
Right? I've heard on PC there's all these options you can do. You could turn on like special lighting, like ray tracing and shit. It makes it look even better and stuff like that.
I agree.
But I'll be honest, I was scratching my head about that. I was like, wow, that's pretty bad that quality mode is choppy. Walking around a boss room, I guess I'm not going to be using quality mode. We're just going to go performance. The truth is, though, it should look good. It's going to have better bitrate than you've ever seen before. There shouldn't be any of that blurriness and pixelization and frame drops you used to see when I played this game. It should all be cured now because my new capture device is so much better.
Dude, he said this the last time when he fucking got a capture card, and the time before that when he fucking got a TV. He talked about how everything was going to be so much better because you're going to be able to see it at like a fucking better clarity and everything. It's like, bro, you already said this and it wasn't before. I think Tevin had mentioned this before, but he's done this shit where he likes to pretend that the shit from the past was so bad and why would he ever produce this shit? But it's like, dude, this is your shit. You made this shit. The reason why it was shit is because you set it up to be shit in the first place. So, you know, don't shit on your fucking past works like this. It's kind of embarrassing. I don't fucking know. This is a weird way to promote yourself.
So this should be sweet. I'm very excited. Plus, I should have less input delay than ever before. Like, my stuff should come out as quickly as possible now that I input it, so that's good.
Oh, it's over here. Wait. It's not?
Okay. I received a $4.20 tip.
I don't know where the post office is. Oh, maybe this is the post office. It's like a double. From
NPC.
Okay.
Hyped for the DLC. Do you think FromSoft should have marketed it as an expansion instead? It seems ambitious for a DLC. You know, I don't know. Because the thing is...
I don't know.
They require you to be the Moog Blood Prince boss to access the DLC. But maybe they did it on purpose. Maybe they felt if you weren't able to get to that point, the DLC was going to be too hard for you. And so they didn't want people spending the money on the DLC and then basically getting trounced into dirt and being like, well, it's unplayable for me because it's too hard. So maybe by having that requirement to play it was smart because you know you have to be of this skill level to access it. Maybe that was the good way to do it.
It's up there. I didn't realize it. So
I don't know.
There you go.
I received a $1 tip.
I think that's all. Let's see. DLC Game of the Year contender. Okay, that's the last part I want to listen to right here.
A troll, so I'm just going to ignore the troll. Never mind. He can shove his dollar up his butthole. The Blimp says, even though this is a DLC, can the Elden Ring DLC compete for Game of the Year? I feel like it has enough length to have a spot. There's a lack of games this year. I would say, yeah. Seriously. There has been such a lack of convincing good games this year. Most games have been incredibly underwhelming that were supposed to be big AAA releases. This is the most hyped release so far this year. By far. Can you name another game that has as much hype as Shadow of the Erdtree? I can't think of a single one. So yes, as long as this is good, this absolutely can be eligible for Game of the Year to me.
Right.
Yes.
There you go. All right. So just keep that in mind when DSP talks about it. If he has to shit on this game, this is an eligibility for Game of the Year contender. I don't know if it will be Game of the Year for him at the end of the day because DSP does not like a challenge. He basically has to find the cheese, roll the entire game, and find no challenge. And that might be the case. Maybe, but he's also obstinate and he doesn't want to use summons or anything. So we'll see how long this lasts. Let's go to DSP Gaming. Let's see how much skip juice we have collected and see if we can get into it.
Damn it, same enemy again.
Okay, so we got DSP. He's taking a sip. He's ready. We've built up a grand total of 13 minutes of skip juice. Holla fucking Luya. We have something to fucking spend. Let's fucking go. We got a hearty golf clap for that. All right, let's listen to the pre-stream. We're going to listen to it in 1.2 speed.
Podcast. It's all about Elden Ring. Shadow of the Erdtree DLC all day long, around 5.5 hours of gameplay. I have some good things to say. I have some criticisms. We're going to get into the nitty-gritty of it, and also we're going to discuss my strategy moving forward. Because what I'm doing right now isn't really working. I don't really feel like smashing my head against a brick wall. In addition, we're going to chill. We're going to take some Q&A. And we will see what happens. So, welcome to the show. It's time to begin. Alrighty, good morning everyone, and welcome to the show. Today is Saturday, the 22nd of June, 2024. I'm DSP, and I'm surrounded by all of my previous avatars from every From Software adventure that I've taken so far.
I mean surrounded.
Pretty cool to see them all lined up this way.
You know what?
And I mean, if that doesn't show,
I'm gonna keep them at one speed, because if it's
of,
like
FromSoft, with the amount of runs that I've done in all the games, I don't know what does. I think the only one that's not here
I gotta have fast forward ready.
Is Sekiro. I think in Sekiro, you're just the character, right? You can't make a custom character. But this is everything. This is Dark Souls 1 through 3, Demon Souls,
Man, surrounded by corner demons,
and Elden Ring.
He's surrounded by all his favorite idiots.
We have a lot to talk about today. After 5.5 hours of Elden Ring yesterday and checking out this DLC, there's definitely
I'm gonna take off the eye contact.
some good stuff to talk about.
I don't want to use that
There's also
anymore.
some stuff that I feel they really did kind of fail on.
Let me let him go for a second. I'm gonna give a
fair, balanced opinion so far on what I've seen in the first 5.5 hours. Some people are unwilling to accept criticism when it comes to this franchise or this game developer. They just think that everything that FromSoft does is absolutely perfect, and God forbid that you ever speak up against it, right? Well, for me, I'll be honest, I do think there's room for improvement, but at the same time, I do feel like there are ways around, you know, what problems I'm having. So we're going to talk about that today. All right? Cool. Outside of that, there's really not that much going on. I checked on like game news and the like, and nothing really happening. So the primary focus of today will definitely be that we're going to talk all about this DLC and my strategy moving forward. And then if we have time at the end, if we want to open it up to Q&A or whatever. Okay? Cool. So before we get started, just to reiterate, I just want to let you know what the schedule is for the rest of the week. Just a quick review before we start talking about Shadow of the Erd Tree. So today, it's more Elden Ring DLC for the first stream, 3+ hours. We'll see how we do. Hopefully we do better than yesterday, or at least better than last night. Tonight on the late stream, in order to recuperate and unwind from all this Elden Ring, it will be Stardew Valley at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. I'm excited for that. The game is great. The game is fun and chill, and we get a lot of interaction and good engagement when I play. So I am very excited to play that tonight and kind of, you know, relax, which is what I need after a day and a half of Elden Ring, right? Sunday is still React Day. That hasn't changed at all. So we're going to have our usual DSP versus the Internet clip show on DSP Reacts on the day stream. And it's going to be the conclusion of my retro reaction to Rise of Nightmares on the late stream on DSP Throwback. And then, because it's only going to be about an hour, we're going to swap over and we're going to continue with my reacting to my original Dark Souls run from 2011. Very pertinent for us to be doing that, being that it's Elden Ring right now, right? So perfect timing to be reacting to Dark Souls.
Oh my god, guys.
Quick reminder.
I have received
if you are a member
package
over on the DSP Reacts channel, all right, you must submit your clips.
This is a special thing. I have to stop the presses. I have received a special package. Well, technically, I knew the package was going to run. So it's not like a new package, but I received a special package in the mail. I sent over my 3DS to get modified to have a capture card built into it. And it has finally come back. Ladies and gentlemen, I now have a 3DS capture card for when I want to play 3DS games. Whoa! I want to say big ups to JC for convincing me to do this. I also want to say I made a mistake initially because I had sent the guy who was modifying this my 3DS and my 2DS. I sent him the 2DS because I was like instinctually grabbing it. I was like, okay, he's gonna modify this or whatever. I looked at it, it's like, oh fuck, it's only the 3DSs. And then JC was laughing at my ass. I was like, fuck, okay, let me send him this and send him a note. And be like, okay, if there's anything additional in the shipping, I will go ahead and take care of that. But we have taken care of this. Everything has been taken care of in order. We have both the 2DS back, and we have the new it's the old new 3DS. It's the one that I used to use a lot back when I was working elsewhere. And now it has a capture card built into it. So at any time, at any moment, well, once I see what application I gotta install, but at any moment I can use the application, boot it up, and I can have all of my 3DS games played onto the screen, captured at actual direct quality. It's a bit of a shame because I should have done this before the whole shutdown of the shop and everything. I will have to probably crack this and make sure that it is also going to have the H shop and everything in it. That's going to be okay. It's not going to be too bad to set up. I mean, worst case scenario, it is set up right now where I can play a bunch of cool games that I used to play back on the 3DS. I got a lot of physical games. So it is what it is. There's so many good 3DS exclusive RPGs, so definitely worth it, not gonna lie. Yeah, that's how I see it. There were a lot of games that I actually just wanted to play from the 3DS. Like, I don't know. There's a lot of nonsense. I have a card in here. I don't even remember if I had a game card in here. It'd be wild if I did. I totally didn't. Let's fucking go. I almost sent over Alpha Sapphire. I didn't even play a lot of that game. What the fuck? But I'll be all right. So big ups and all that jazz. And the eShop closed already. It is. However, I can use the H shop, download what I need, and then more specifically, there is a version of Mario Kart 7 that I've been not quite contractually obligated, but it is duly obligated that I must play with JC. So I need to go ahead and get to break it into this old 3DS here, get it up and running like the 2DS, which I had the ability to stream from, but the stream quality was ass. It was just complete ass. We're not gonna talk about that and pretend it was good. But once we get it up and running, we will play the Mario Kart 7 shit. I'm just kind of hoping I can keep all of my old game saves and everything. If I can't, it's not the end of the world. I can back up things, but you know, we'll see how that goes, I guess. So pretty cool, big ups. Can you give me your 3DS? I got rid of mine again. No, I need this 3DS. I need the new 2DS, the 3DS without the 3D capability. I have the classic 3DS. You can't even see this. I'm holding up and everything. It's the teal looking one. It's pretty good. And I also have a additional 2DS. I shouldn't say the 2DS, it's the new 2DS. I hate how the naming schema work for these things. But I have like effectively four 3DSs right in front of me that are all in working order. They're all perfectly fine. They all have their own save data and everything on it. You know what, Ryan? You could have this old 3DS. But I'm not gonna give it to you. I don't know, I could give it to you. It's got a lot of years worked on it. It worked well, but not having that additional button up at the top, not a button, but you know, the little button stick or whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's kind of lame. Make sure you send me your address so I can send you a game to stream. Bache, tell me what game you want me to stream if it's on the 3DS, and I will stream it. And there's a good chance, Bache, I might actually physically have it if it is a 3DS game. Possible. Yeah, exactly. Get your own 3DS, you fucking Goomba.
For tomorrow's
what did I miss?
Continue my Sunday is still React Day.
This is the schedule.
They tried to get your submission way late, only like 4 streams late. So
I didn't realize we were in schedule segment mode. Really lame. Oh shit. Saleblazers crashed. Fuck, Saleblazers crashed. No! I was playing that. We'll restart it. Yeah, Street Fighter 4 for the 3DS.
They patched the game so that any new items that you pick up go into its own sorted menu, and they get highlighted in the standard menus so you can find them right away. What took FromSoft literally like 15 years to put this into their games, I have no idea. This is a standard quality of life improvement that does not make the game easier. It just simply makes it so you don't waste time sifting through your inventory half the time. It should have been in there 10 years ago. They really just, it's
right,
really,
if you want to join,
it gets to me that
have the server
that's something that everyone else would have put in, but FromSoft gets a pass not putting it in until now. I'm happy it's in there though, because thank God now you can immediately see all your new items and figure out what they are and everything, and it's very good in that regard. So thankfully, kudos to them for putting it in. Don't know what took so long, but I'm just happy to have it. Okay.
We still in schedule?
Immediately when you head into the Shadows of the Erdtree DLC, you're right into the open world, and the first thing you're gonna notice
is that I wanted to listen to.
It looks familiar. You know, they said when they were describing this DLC that essentially it would be the size of Liurnia and the plateau to the south and some of Caelid. And I don't think they're lying. However, I will say this, it does seem like there's a lot of alternate paths and elevations, meaning like you might have a high up area here, then a ground level area here, so it kind of stacked.
What do I mean by elevations?
Left-hand corner of the map of standard Elden
Ring.
Ring.
Let me explain the idea of elevation.
I said Liurnia, I meant to say Limgrave, by the way. It was Liurnia in Elden Ring, in a regular Elden Ring, where you had that big plateau.
This is still Elden Ring, by the way.
With all the magic and dragons and everything, and you couldn't even get to that until later in the game when it was a secret area. That's kind of how I see this DLC. Like, it's a lot of stuff that's stacked on top of itself. So
yeah,
it
this is a pre-stream
looks small, but it's deceptive. It looks like there's going to be a lot more content than that. That's a good thing, obviously. However, the moment you go out into the open world and you start looking around, you're like, so what do I see? So I see some trees. Okay.
All right. See some trees. Pretty good.
A whole bunch of tombstones, but as you start to ride through, you realize they're not tombstones. They're not even there. They're just ghost projections of tombstones, and there's thousands of them everywhere. And there's a bunch of sheep. Yeah. And so as you start riding around, you're like, well, this looked really dense and populated at first, but as you start to realize, it's all smoke and mirrors. It's just a bunch of tombstones and a bunch of sheep. Even most of the area, like all the enemies in there are just little pushover shadow men. They don't really do anything.
Shadow men.
There's these birds that are basically vultures. They're pushovers too. They're not a big deal, you know? So this whole giant first area that you ride into is essentially empty. And that's pretty sad. So you would think the first thing you want to do is impress, and it visually looks great, and then when you start to actually look at the substance, you're like, it's pretty empty. There is one of the giant Wicker Man furnace enemies in the area. Not really a boss, more of a puzzle, and it is a little challenging to figure out, but once you figure it out, it's pretty easy to take down. I actually went right to it and took it out right away. And so after that, you start to ride around and explore, right? And I did. I found some optional areas. I started to find some enemy camps, took out the enemies, found some optional upgrade items, the new upgrade system, which is based on two things. There's the Sudoku tree fragments. I don't even know what it's called. Sudafed tree. I think it's supposed to sound like Shadow tree, but it's like Sudan tree or something like that. Once you get a bunch of these fragments, you artificially increase your damage output and your damage resistance. So you need to get these. They're very important to the game.
One person
and then there's other fragments that increase your...
I don't know the story behind the DLC. The fact that you're telling me it is the memories behind the person behind Moog, that's great, but I don't think he cares. At the end of the day, this dude is just wanting to be an asshole about this game because he wants it to be a certain way. He wants this where this game is going to be an easy pushover game and he doesn't really have to do a whole lot with it, and it's not, and he's kind of mad about it. So realistically, he doesn't care about anything. He just wants this game to be over with, and the sooner the better, because right now it's pissing him the fuck off.
And
so there you go.
Summons, strength and damage output, and also your horse. I don't use summons, so for me the summon ones are pretty useless. The horse getting more health isn't a big deal, so probably that's not so very effective. But as for the other ones, they seem pretty important. to this DLC. So anyway, you know, I explored for a while. I probably explored for around 2 to 2.5 hours. I'll say 2 hours.
He's not going to drop
first
it.
stream
There's
that I did
no
yesterday.
way he'll drop it.
And I found various things. I found a few optional bosses, which were fun, challenging because they hit like tanks. But at the same time, you know, they were fair. I feel, keep in mind, I'm still using my magic build from my second run of Elden Ring, and it's a little versatile because I could use projectiles, but also I could charge up my magic sword. So I have 2 different ways to attack, either with ranged or with up close melee. And I found my way through a couple optional bosses. Logan, who's a guy who teleports in, and he's just an NPC with claws, and he's really tough to fight. When you beat him, you get his claws. Kind of unique, kind of reminds me of, like I said, Wolverine or Black Panther fighting style.
His name is Logan.
And then I found a mausoleum, and in there was a black jail knight who had a ginormous sword and also used an insane crossbow that's like rapid fire crossbow. So fought him, took a little bit, but got him, and ended up getting the whatchamacallit, the sword, the giant sword. I can't remember what it was called, but it's a huge like bastard sword. And continued on and kept going through exploration areas, found the optional town. Not much there. There's like a talisman or something that I'm probably never going to use. And then finally, in the final hour of my first stream, I got to the first legacy dungeon, which is the is it Belroot? I think it's Belroot, or it could be Belarus. I think it's Belarus. The Belarus Tower. All right. As soon as I got to the Belarus Tower, I had a lot of fun because it's a legacy dungeon. It's designed like Dark Souls, which is what I like. You know,
because it was easy.
All the encounters are scripted.
Pushovers.
Fun little stuff, challenges here or there, little tricks, secret areas. You know, had a great time with it. The one complaint I have about the dungeon, in a hidden area, there's a freaking ulcerated tree spirit. And I was like, seriously? Again, they're reusing this damn enemy. They use it like 700 times in the original game, and they had to reuse it in this DLC. Like, that's ridiculous. They're still using this damn same enemy again. So,
anyway,
after doing that, finally got to the boss. But then I ran out of time. Okay? So on my second stream, I took on the first real major boss of the DLC, a dancing lion. All right? Definitely looks like, you know, Chinese culture. They have festivals with lions.
Chinese
and, you know, people
culture.
get into the suits, outfit,
you know,
of a costume. It's like a bunch of guys dancing around together to do this, like almost like a, looks like a worm or something moving around. So I'm like, all right, here we go. Jump into the lion boss fight. To be honest,
all right,
the lion seems fun. Like, once you start to learn its attack patterns and everything, it seems like it's going to be an interesting boss.
Dude, he wasn't saying that it was fun. He was complaining as if it was like a Street Fighter thing. Let me see if I can pull this up. In the middle of him fighting this thing, he was like complaining like it was Street Fighter, where he was like, on fight, all of a sudden it's just charging out there and kicking my ass. Where is it? I can find the term. On fight. Oh my god. Transcript, please. Why do you take so long to load? This transcript better be the biggest fucking thing ever. Or is it just... oh my god, I closed out of it as it was loading. You kidding me? No! Once again. I swear to god, YouTube has been sucking so much ass as of late. Something about it, it becomes less and less usable. I had to do a specific whatchamacallit just to get everything oriented in such a way how it used to look, because it's kind of lame how it looks now. If you look at fucking without the rearrangement, like they have all these advertisements for all these videos down below. It fucking sucks.
And
he even did that. The boss did outplay him. Yeah, of course. Stomped his ass 21 times. I thought it was 20 times. Oh my god. On fight.
Okay, everyone, welcome back.
Uh-oh.
It is the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC continuing on. We're in Belroot.
Wow.
And we just got the sewer key. But I want to see if I can kind of like sneak back to where those sewers were. Item here, what is this? Because I skipped this earlier. It's crap. It's the silver horn. I don't care about that.
Oh my god. Is it just because of all of the fucking text? Is that really what it is? Yeah, it just says on fight. So it's right around 31 minutes.
It's gonna be well, on fight, as soon as it fights, it starts doing that projectile shit.
On fight.
Get out of its way. I wonder if it staggers, because again, nothing has staggered yet in this DLC. So I don't know if Rock Sling would even be effective against it. Try it again. Didn't use it this time. See, you didn't use the projectile this time? Oh, I tried to roll. Look at the camera. The camera's terrible in this. Oh wow, the camera's awful.
The camera is terrible. The camera is awful. He literally went over to a wall and he was complaining why the camera was up on a wall.
I couldn't tell what was going on. The camera was fucking wigging out. That was really bad. I might just have to roll past him and attack him from the sides. I don't know what else to do here because I think I'm pretty sure he's just gonna keep like wiling out like he's doing. It was like a flash kick. It's like a guile flash kick. Oh, I don't like the arena at all. Look, I get stuck on the walls so easily. Ooh, look at this shit. Oh my god. That was wild. He's so fast. Can't do anything.
Literally, we have on-fight reactions. We have projectiles. We literally compare this thing to doing flash kicks. That's how ridiculous we are right now. We have it in our heads so bad of how we used to do things with Street Fighter. We're comparing it to Street Fighter because we have no other like metric to measure shit by. That's insanity. Actual fucking insanity right now. But he wasn't having a good time. He gave up after 20 tries or so.
It lunges at you quite a bit. Sometimes it lunges and is open. Sometimes it lunges and has like 2 to 3 follow-up attacks. It's got various spitting attacks. And then once you get to its second phase, all of a sudden it starts chucking lightning bolts like Dick Lightning from Dark Souls 2. And I was like, all right, that's pretty darn cool. All right. But there's one problem with this boss. He kills me with 1 to 2 hits. Like there was sometimes he insta-killed me, and there's other times he hit me once, but because of the nature of the boss, sometimes it's like a double attack, and I would just die.
He needs to do something like that.
How am I going to learn his patterns when I die instantly every time I get touched, right? Like I'm dealing damage to this boss. It's not like, oh, I'm not doing any damage to the guy, but if I have to hit him 70 times to kill him, and he hits me once and I instantly die, obviously this is going to take a long time. And I fought him for like maybe a half an hour, and I was like, it's fun, first encounter.
This was fun.
At this point, I feel like there's something lacking. Either I need way more health, or I need to go out and find those upgrade items to get, because at this point, I'd only had like 2 of the upgrades, the Sudafed tree upgrades or whatever they're called. I only had like 2. So I was maybe slightly more strong and slightly more damage resistant, but not much. So this thing was pounding me hard. As soon as I got hit, it was like squished like a bug.
Just kept pounding me.
I'm like, well, it's either got to be
I
have to go get more health, or I have to get a bunch of these upgrades, okay? So basically, I got to the point like, well, I could literally keep fighting this boss all night. I might beat him, but I don't know how fun that's going to be for me or the audience. Do you really want to see me keep bashing my head against the wall the entire night stream? I didn't want to do that. So I said, all right, instead, there's tons of content to go out and explore. Let's do that instead. So I jumped on my horse and went back out to the open world, and we started riding around. We actually rode to the northwestern part of the map. And there we encountered a few different things, nothing too crazy or anything. We did find an optional dungeon. It was actually called, I think it was the Belarus jail. Now, I don't know if this was supposed to be just one of those dungeons that is kind of the random one that's not very special, or if it was a handcrafted dungeon. And for me, I treated it like it was a legacy dungeon, and it was kind of neat. It was all about pot men, the pots that you are from Elden Ring, the standard version, and you're gonna platform on them, you gotta fight them. There's some new enemies in there as well.
It's the same game.
It was pretty fun.
Keeps treating it like they're 2 different games. The boss was a little challenging because he was kind of like super speedy swordsman.
But I got it done with relatively no real problems or anything like that. And I ended up getting a bunch of new armor. Like I got a pot helmet that I put on. It looks so stupid, but it's hilarious, so I put it on. So then after beating that, we continued on and started going to the northeast of the map where you could go. I get to a lake. And in a lake, it looked like there's a pile of wood.
Pretty much abandoned
I'm like,
the PvP
I guarantee you
community.
that pile of wood is a boss.
That's
There's no way that that's just a pile of wood. Something's gonna happen. I ride towards it. It gets up. It's a dragon. It's a new dragon. It's exactly the same dragon fight that you did a bunch of times in standard Elden Ring. The difference is it uses one new fire attack that's a little bit different and harder to dodge. And apparently the dragon is incredibly resistant to magic. Because the thing is, the dragon isn't kicking my ass. I know the dragon fight. I've killed a zillion of these things before, but I'm just smashing this thing with my sword. I'm wailing on it with magic. It's doing almost nothing. I blasted it full blast with the Comet Azure spell, and it tells it like this. I'm like, what? So nothing hurts this damn thing. So I fought it like 2-3 times. I'm like, the problem is not the fight. The problem is I can't hurt it. It's so annoying. So I guess I'm gonna have to come back to this one too.
Yeah, you can use
unless I want to sit here for an hour trying to beat this dragon, which isn't fun. You know, I guess I'll come back later when I'm maybe I get more upgrades or whatever, right?
Do something else.
So I left the dragon behind, and we continued to explore. We ended up going northeast across the bridge. There's a big enemy camp there, full of annoying little troops. Fought them. Got a couple upgrades. So basically, by the end of the night, I maybe upgraded with the Sudafed tree like 4 times, maybe 3. It was either 3 or 4. I'm not exactly sure. We'll have to confirm that today when I boot up because I can't remember.
We'll
it was at
never hear
least
the end of
3,
that
I
either.
want to say.
We love the Sudafed tree.
The last thing that I did on my first day of Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree DLC, was I found another optional dungeon. This one was one of those very repetitive redone dungeons from the base game. Why they chose to put that into a paid DLC, I have no clue. It was called the Fog something Catacombs. I can't remember the middle name. I actually put it in the title of the video. Hold on.
He's got to look up his YouTube stats.
Fog Rift Catacombs, okay? And when I got to the Fog Rift Catacombs, I went inside and I was like, you know, normally I would have just skipped this, but being the new DLC, I should at least give one a shot. Plus, maybe there'll be a good item in here that I want.
That was like right in bed right before clock out.
The catacomb was absolutely terrible.
He's trying to forget that was the case.
So you're running in circles, not knowing where to go. It's tricky. They try to fool you. There's instant death trap. Well, not really instant death traps, but there's smashing down ceilings. Enemies that come out of nowhere and hit you for insane damage. Really, really stupid. I just hate those catacombs. I did in the base game too. Like I never really liked those catacombs. I got to the boss. The boss seems pretty cool. It's called the Dragon Knight. And that's the fight we're in the midst of doing right now. I basically got him down to halfway of his health, and then he has a special attack where he grabs and like insta-kills you. So I gotta just adapt to that. I'll definitely beat him today. It's not gonna be a big deal. Just gotta learn. You know, I had almost no time to try it last night. I tried it like 5-10 minutes tops. So today we'll dedicate time. It's the first thing we're doing on stream today. We're dedicating time to fight this boss. I'm hoping he drops a really good item. Like if he has these dual axes. If he drops the dual axes, I may have found a weapon that I'm interested in, because after playing 5.5 hours yesterday, okay, I mean, let's recap. I found a giant mace that's basically all strength. I found that giant sword from the Black Jail Knight that looks like it does like a shockwave attack and then a counter follow-up like spin slash, but it's just a big bastard sword. I don't know if I really want that. I kind of did that kind of build in the base game when I played it. I got the claws. The claws were great. Look interesting. I tried them on.
He can't. He's
fast and everything. The problem with the
lot
claws is
his leg
I
is
feel
just
like the
going out of
claws will be
control
really
right
good
now.
against individual enemies and will absolutely suck against bosses. I really feel that way. Like the claws, you're just gonna try to do that combo and you're just gonna get completely smashed when you're trying to do the combos, and so you're not gonna get the bleed effect on them, and you're just never gonna get it.
In
which case, I don't think it's going to be very good.
Welcome,
maybe I'm wrong.
Thank
okay?
you for the reset.
Well, guys, we got a year
I got a bunch of
like
like other things I'll never use. Like there was a severed arm of an enemy that you can use like a catalyst and also a weapon. It's shitty. I'm never going to use that.
We're melting something. We're melting
so I'm trying,
down.
I'm trying to think. Out of all the weapons I found yesterday, I probably found like maybe 10 weapons. Oh, I found a thing that turns your hand into a nub with like a spear. So basically, you're fighting with like a stabby lance on your arm. but
Tar?
I don't think that's going to be very good either, honestly. So, you know, on all the weapons I found, maybe I would use that sword. I think people should be calling it the solitary sword. Maybe I would use that, but it's kind of like just a big sword that I never really wanted, to use again. I've already done it before. So I was looking for something unique. The only real unique thing so far I really noticed is the claws. You know, I did find these 2 dual knives as well. When you dual wield this one knife, I think it's called the backhand blade, you turn it into 2 backhanded knives. Looks neat, but again, it looks like to really get it going, you have to get into several hits. And it makes me nervous that when you're fighting a boss and you get that opening, you only get to hit it 2-3 times. You can't finish the combo, in which case you never get to the damage output you're supposed to get. But again, I don't know how effective it would be against bosses. So anyway, once I beat, and by the way, no one spoil, all right? But once I beat the Dragon Knight today, I am hoping that he drops something good. I'm really hoping for his axe or axes. Like, that would be nice, because maybe I would want to use that. Something new, because I haven't used an axe or anything yet. So that would be kind of neat to use those, but I don't know if he drops them or not.
Already looked it up.
As his reward.
Like,
so we're gonna find out.
Him.
I just described day 1 in the DLC fully for you, about 20 minutes, right?
Day 1 of the DLC
So what do I
nonsense.
like and what do I not like? Well, what did I enjoy the most?
What did these?
Anytime I was in a legacy style dungeon. So the entire tower, Bella Root Tower, or whatever it's called.
Lord. I'm gonna change these shoutouts at some point.
Jail. I loved both dungeons. They were fun. They were tricky. They were interesting. I love that you have a little bit of puzzle solving and or exploration to find everything. I like the enemies that jump out at you. Anything that's like that hand curated feel, which is what FromSoft is good at. That's what they're known for. I absolutely loved it. Okay, so very, very good there.
Hopefully you're
I'll be honest,
something.
I think the bosses are fine. Like, even the dancing lion boss that I can't beat yet, I don't dislike the boss. I'm not raging at it. Just like,
you literally can't complain about it yet. Because if you start complaining this early in about the bosses when you haven't even beaten like an actual first boss, it's gonna make you look like a giant fucking pussy. Which he doesn't want to have come off to anybody who's currently watching his gameplay right now. He wants to show like, yeah, man, I'm doing really great and everything, but he's really trying his hardest not to complain that the bosses are way too fucking hard. But he has been kind of dropping hints.
Oh, I got hit again. Well, gotta start all the way over again because I died.
Gotta do it again. Don't worry, they're fair.
I gotta find a way around that, not to die after one hit
guys.
on this boss,
they're not
right?
terrible.
So, but as for the boss itself, it seems cool. I like its design.
They're cool.
So I think the bosses are good, and I think that
I don't hate them yet.
Dungeons are good. Okay.
I love the dungeons.
Oh, and I'll say this: the graphics as well are pretty good. Absolutely. All right, but in regards to the open world, at least in the first area, because remember, this will have more than one area, this map. Right now, we're just in the main central area. I think, what is it called? Is it like the ghost grave area? I think that's what it's called, the ghost grave area. I don't like it at all. It reminds me so much of Limgrave. In fact, again, if you want my honest opinion, if you remove the ghost graves, and if you remove the sheet, if you just had it be an open area without those filler things, it would look completely empty, and you would realize it's just like Limgrave. Wow. Like, they didn't even try to change it.
If you removed all the things that made it unique, it would just be like this other thing.
Looks just like Limgrave. It's not interesting.
So it has more things.
It's pretty fucking boring. And this is the area you got to spend hours in at the beginning of the DLC. They should have thrown you into something different right away. That way you feel like you're truly immersed in something new rather than the base game. It literally feels like, well,
why do they do this
here we go again. Time to go right to the same shit that we were doing for an insane
Besdom
amount of time in the base game. Just right back to it again.
Message.
No innovation.
Now, I like to put the jelly inside my ass. Then put some of this peanut butter on top of it. I call it a peanut butter jelly and ass sandwich. But Doragdani will be calling it lunch.
Yeah.
That's frustrating.
All right.
Okay, I wish the starting area were more interesting. I have seen other areas
Please use a spoon
around,
when eating.
And if you look to the left, you can see this area where there's like blue and red ground and some islands off in the distance that look interesting. And if you look to the north, you see giant castle and everything. You're like, so there is good stuff coming.
Yeah,
it's just not in that base open world area, and that's frustrating because that's what you got to deal with first, right? Already, I will tell you, we're 5.5 hours in, and already we're getting reuse of enemies. That's frustrating as well. We waited 2 years for this DLC. They're charging us $40 for it. It's not like this is a few buck add-on and they're reusing assets. They're charging you a hefty price for this DLC. You would expect to get mostly new stuff. There is new stuff, but the problem is it's already being reused. Like, I went to the first dungeon, got to the boss, left, started exploring the open.
Okay, I haven't played the other fucking FromSoft games, but his complaint when he was playing this game for the first time is he was like, this is too much like the other FromSoft games. It's like, yeah, that's what it is, right? They reused enemies, whatever. And he complained about it then. But the game got a pass back then, and now it's not getting a pass now because he spent more money than he did initially, or less money. I don't even fucking know. I don't even know what we're complaining about right now. Or we're just complaining just to complain right now. We're complaining because the DLC is not a pushover, and he's getting a lot of attention, and it's a lot of attention on a channel where he normally doesn't get attention, and it's him getting his ass fucking beat. I'm sorry you can't just go through everything very easily. At some point he will. He'll make the DLC look like a joke, and then nobody will care about it.
World, and I'm like,
I'm waiting for that.
The enemies that were in the dungeon are out in the open world too? But why? It used to be there were dungeon-specific enemies or something. Now they're being used in the open world right away, right after the dungeon. That's kind of stupid. And why are there bug people in the dungeon, but also in this whole town? I don't like that.
It's extremely detailed, and you don't reuse assets.
They had the goddamn ulcerated
They
cheese
always
spirit in the
raise
first dungeon.
stuff. A Souls Master would know this.
That's the most overused boss in the game, and you use it again. I almost feel like it was a joke. Like, haha, you thought we would not use it for the DLC? Take this, sucker. Now you gotta fight it again. I really feel like they were doing that on purpose to razz you, because I can't imagine someone said, oh, here's a good idea, just copy paste the same fucking guy that's over here 700 times,
they're
just drop him here
you
just for fun, right?
Yeah, they're just razzing Phil.
Anyway,
sorry Phil, just wanted to razz you.
So that's some of the stuff I don't like. But ultimately the thing I'll dislike the most, this new system of having to look around the world to find these Sudafed tree fragments is really stupid. Okay, and here's why.
Dude, let's be real. In Elden Ring, initially, you have to look around the world and get these, I can't remember what the fuck they were, but there were these little shrines and shit, and that's how you would get all of your healing items. You get more healing items, the more of those fucking shrines that you would find. So if DSP is going to make this argument that you shouldn't be going around exploring and getting all these things, that way you would have access to more things, is kind of dumb, because we already just did this anyway. We've literally already done this in the main game. So he shouldn't complain he's doing it again. Yeah, exactly, he's rewarding exploration. Why is he so against this? The reason why he's against it is because he doesn't want to explore. He wants to just get to the good things right away. He doesn't like having to invest any kind of time into a game anymore. The game has to be immediately rewarding. Immediately on fight, I need to get a sense of satisfaction. DSP has gotten so fucking... Oh god. He's gotten so used to just being rewarded for mediocrity and just immediate gratification. The thing that he complained about that one time when he was talking to a fucking viewer, he's literally complaining about that thing right now. As he's doing it, he's literally asking for immediate fucking self-gratification on a fucking game. Just fucking explore, just play the game. It's not that hard. If it was just given to you right away, then it wouldn't be that fun.
Elden Ring. You gotta explore, that's true. And if you explore, you'll find a bunch of items, you'll find optional dungeons, you'll find all that stuff. But in general, in Elden Ring, the goal is to find your path from one legacy dungeon to the next major legacy dungeon, and then complete the legacy dungeons to advance the story. Correct? Like, that's really what you're doing. You could explore if you want, and that's your option. You feel like spending an incredible amount of time in this open world and looking around every nook and cranny and going around every corner and going to every optional dungeon. You could do that. You could skip it all and just rush right to the next part. Or you can do a hybrid where you sometimes explore, sometimes you don't. For my first run, I almost did everything. I did near the end of the game skip a lot of the optional dungeons because I was just tired of them at that point.
The things that you like, by the way. You like those dungeons.
And basically, I did find that near the last third of the game had kind of fizzled out for me. You know, I do think that all the legacy stuff at the end of the game It's great, but the open world, that whole frozen area, is not very interesting at all. It's too reused and just repetitive, okay? So, when I go into this DLC, hoping for something fresh and new, actually, it's the opposite. Now, you are forced, against your will,
to play the game,
to have to fully explore the open world. Why? Because you have to find these upgrade items. If you don't, you're gonna end up feeling way unprepared and underleveled for these boss fights.
So it's an optional thing. You don't actually have to get these things. If you want to make the boss fights easier, you can get these things. But if you don't get these things, the boss fights will be harder. So what are we even arguing? We're making the same arguments again, except we're redressing it up as something else. In reality. So, I don't know, just do it or don't. If you're being forced to, fucking do it. And if you don't want to do it, then don't do it and do it the hard way. This is the same guy who sits there and he doesn't want to use summons because he thinks it's an inauthentic way of playing this fucking game. He's not using a mechanic of the game to self-impose a challenge on him to say, I beat it the true and honest way. But then he complains that he is being forced to do a thing, which he's not technically forced. He could do it a different way, but it would make him take more time and effort to beat the boss. Bro, you do that today with the summon restriction. What are we complaining about? You don't summon people, you don't summon fucking helpers, you don't summon anything. You're doing the same thing.
From Software should go out of business for forcing people to do stuff. I'm canceling them on behalf.
I just don't understand this guy. I don't understand what his gripe is. If his gripe is it's too difficult, you're already making the game more difficult anyway. And let's also be fair. The reason why any of this even exists is to make sure somebody of his level doesn't go in there and automatically just destroy the game and leaks the entire DLC and makes the whole experience worthless. Yeah, you need to make it in a way in which you just can't have people who New Game Plus a bunch of times, who have a whole bunch of level, come in and just sweep the game. It wouldn't be much of a DLC then, would it? And it's not even a big deal. It really is not that big of a deal. He already had to do it before. It's like a few extra hours. He's literally just gonna look up a guide and hone in on all of these fucking things regardless. Fuck it. This is so dumb. This is so fucking dumb. We are complaining about literally nothing while we sit here and we self-impose our own difficulty thing on not doing summons, but we're gonna complain. It's okay to not use summons and then complain about a game being hard and it's challenging and fair, but it's not okay to complain about the game when it requires you to get like little pieces of items from a fucking tree that we keep making fun of, the Sudoku tree or whatever the fuck we're calling it now, whatever joke we want to make today. It's unfair if we gotta find those pieces. My brother and Allah, we already did that already with the stupid getting all of your little flasks and shit with praying at shrines. We already did that. It wasn't even the shrines. It was like little droplets and shit. We already did this. Stop complaining.
It's not the dungeon. The dungeon was fine. I got right through that first dungeon, no problem. Got to the boss. Okay, here we go.
Fucking dickhead.
Wow, he just squishes me. It's the equivalent of a big thumb coming down.
Has redeemed the following TTS message.
Like, well, obviously that's not the intention. They don't want you to just instantly die to the boss.
I don't even think.
Either my spec is terrible.
I think that's it plays in a big factor, but I don't think that's the core reason. I need to find
these upgrade items. I truly feel.
I think if he got, dude, I think if this guy got $300 that night, I still think he would have been miserable. He's miserable because he doesn't like it when he's trying to make progress and he doesn't make any progress whatsoever. We've seen it in so many fucking games. He'll get $100 fucking, but if at any point he's gated from like progressing forward, he's gonna cry, bitch, and moan because he hates it. He hates having to fucking play a game and exist in a game. If the game isn't that fun and entertaining, like fucking Street Fighter where he's competitive, he doesn't want to fucking play it for a long period of time. He wants to get on to the next thing. That's why we call it the conveyor belt effect. This dude is ready for this game to be over with, and we've played it only one day. Only one day, and we're already pissed off at it. We haven't even let the game cook, as the children would say. Fuck me.
Any build will work in the DLC. The problem is some people are going to have harder time with it. For example, my build is a magic build. That means I did not specify in pumping my health at all. I didn't. My health is not sky high in this.
His health is higher than his magic meter right now. He put a lot of points into vigor. I'm not even going to look it up, but I know hand to God his vigor is not that low. He's not going to pretend because his health bar doesn't stretch across the screen. He's just, oh yeah, man, I don't even have a whole lot of health. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm making this hard for me, bro.
So for me, everything's going to like smash me. But generally, in the regular run, my magic's so powerful, it's a trade-off. I also do massive damage to the enemies and bosses. Cannon. So as long as I'm dodging a bit and I get around their attacks, I can kill them. In this case, I don't think that's possible at all. Like, I'm taking so much damage from regular enemies and bosses, right? That if I find a boss that has a big well of health, like the Dancing Lion boss, I just can't beat it that way anymore. Even trying to learn its pattern, dodging, counter hitting it a bunch of times. I mean, I froze the goddamn boss. Also because
he made himself look dumb.
He was completely frosted from head to toe. He went into form 2 and just killed me again, even though I had full health. And I'm like,
he did make himself look dumb by saying that whole he's a fucking Elden Ring expert or whatever. He really should not have opened his mouth and said that. He was just better off just being humble. This dude should have stayed humble.
Like what am I supposed to do?
What is he supposed to do? I'm
sit here for 5 hours, memorize every attack? That's dumb. So
why should I memorize shit?
Basically,
that's dumb.
For me,
just hand me the win.
I don't like that. If you want to get all these upgrade items, you have to fully explore the open world. Previously, just play the game.
Just play the game.
Just kill enemies. Just kill a boss. Just do whatever. Get the runes, level up, you're good. Now the runes are all but useless. They barely do anything. You're already at level 150 or higher when you're starting this DLC, likely. Getting another level is negligible. You've already got the diminished returns. You're not going to get any big stat boosts. You really have to go look for these upgrade items.
The boss in CB yesterday, he just face tanked.
And they're everywhere.
That's right, he did.
It'd be one thing if
it really was just face tanking everything.
They glow, and you could see them actively. Or on the map, they tell you where they are, so you just go and get them. Instead, they are just littered everywhere. Sometimes there'll be a random dude holding a freaking pot above his head that has like sparkles on it. And if you kill him, you might get one of the items, okay? Sometimes there's a statue with one of the items just sitting in front of it. But the thing is, sometimes you can't see the statues because of the way they set up the open world. Sometimes the item is blocked from view, so you don't know there's an item in front of the statue, so you miss it. Sometimes they've just been randomly in the middle of nowhere, just sitting there. So they're everywhere, and I understand, oh, well, we want you to explore, all right? Fair enough. But not everyone wants to explore every single nook and cranny of your universe because they don't find the open world that appealing. I'll be honest. I felt like the open world was the weakest part of Elden Ring. I loved the legacy dungeons. I loved the bosses. I loved the different builds you could do. I didn't like the open world. And that's what they're forcing you to do now in this DLC. So you took a game that was very versatile, and in the DLC, you made it way less versatile because you want it to be played a certain way. I don't like that. I like having more choice, more control, and they're basically taking that control away from me with this DLC, the way they've laid it out.
Yeah.
So honestly,
play the game how I want
if I want to continue with Magic Build, I have to waste time, and yes, I'm gonna call it that. I have to waste time. All right, exploring this open world.
To explore
and getting all the upgrade items.
Wow. So if he had it his way, he wouldn't explore and he would just do whatever the fuck he wanted. And he would just rush through, which he can do. He can do. It's really fucking tough. Nothing stops him from doing it right now other than the frustration of fucking doing it. But, you know, he doesn't want to do that because it's frustrating. Let him play the game.
Do I want to do that before I can even fight
he's gonna cry
the first major boss? That's kind of dumb. I'm going to end up unlocking the whole map before I even fight the first boss or kill the first boss.
Partial Artist 18 has redeemed the following TTS message.
That being said,
this wet wipe doesn't like fun or understand what fun is, and it's frustrating.
It's frustrating as somebody who enjoys games. To watch somebody who pretends and fake fans and like, I hate it when DSP says, I'm a lifelong gamer. I love gaming. Because nothing he shows today is like somebody who likes a game. This is somebody who actively detests a game, who treats a game as his job, which it is his job. And it shows off every single time he fucking does anything. Right now, this dude is not coming across as like an actual genuine fan of games. He's acting like a fucking person who's like forced to review these games. And he's gonna give it a fucking number score. He's acting like a journalist. Why should I do all of these things? I should just be able to get to the game. Why don't I have it where the game just plays itself? Why should I explore things? I should be able to play the game how I want. You know what? DSP is actually factually acting like a fucking video game reviewer right now. He's like one of those people who can't beat the first level of a fucking video game. And he sits there and he complains. The game is too difficult. Why would they do this to the player?
And
it really is like that. It actually is like that. Who the fuck is here? Look at these. Look at these. Look at these morons. They come in here. They try and disrupt the shop. They think that they own the place. And they end up getting murdered instantaneously. That's why Revengers should leave. They're not allowed in the shop. Not today, idiots.
Last I thought about what I wanted to do.
Intern.
Like, what do I want to do
acting.
here? Do I want to continue on with my magic build and have these problems? Do I want to change it up? You know, here's the thing, as I've told you guys.
Here's the thing.
I already told you I was intending to respec, but I wanted to find a weapon that I liked that I was worth respecking for, right? So I'm looking into everything, and I'm like, what do I want to do? I don't know if this boss I'm fighting right now, the Death Knight, drops the axes. I kind of like the axes.
Dude, he's mentioned these axes multiple times now. I don't even know anything about this boss. I don't know what the fuck he's fighting. Can somebody confirm to me right now, does whatever this fucking boss he's fighting, the one in this little fucking stupid ass dungeon, does it in fact drop axes? And is that the reason why we're gunning for him? Are they some kind of like broken ass fucking axes? 100% drops the axes. So are they gonna be some broken ass fucking axes that he's gonna sit there and he's gonna unga bunga the rest of the game? That's the other question. Because if it is, I'm just already, I don't care. I actually just straight up just don't give a fuck. They're not broken though? Great. Basically, he was waiting until he finds a broken weapon and respec to use them. I mean, that's fine. If the whole ordeal is I want to find something that's going to be broken and it's going to make the game easier, fuck it. Because most people are going to play that way. They're going to play where they find a weapon they really, really like and they're going to respec to it. And that's okay. Or they're going to do a certain type of build and they're going to kind of focus that way. That's still okay. I feel like we're doing all of this dancing around and shit for literally nothing. Literally nothing. Why the fuck, customers, get in here? They're all acting like assholes. I don't even care. It's fine. We're not even selling anything right now. We already have 40,000 in the vault. We're just building up money. Just our cash shores. They gotta be in order.
If he drops the axes, maybe I would use those. Maybe I would respec to use the axes, and that would be my first respec of this DLC. And if that's the case, I guarantee you it's probably like a strength and faith build, because I think he uses lightning magic too, so it's probably a dual build, and I would probably check that out. And I would definitely up the vigor, so that way I have way more of a health pool and I won't die to one hit from these bosses. Okay, now that's going to be very different. Instead of me doing either ranged hit and run or charging up this magic sword and just wailing away trying to freeze them, instead my game plan is going to change. It's going to be more like dodging around and then trying to find opportunities to do big attacks and stuff with these axes or whatever. Outside of that, all right, I don't know what else I want to do with any of the other weapons. Like, I don't particularly think any of the weapons that I found yet are ones that I really like that much. Like, a lot of people have been saying the solitary sword, Sword of Solitude sword, whatever it's called. A lot of people are saying that's good, and I'm like, well, I could definitely see it, but I don't know if I want to use it. I've already used great swords in my first run 2 years ago. I kind of don't want to redo that. You know what I mean? I would rather do something different.
Isn't he using a great sword right now?
Now,
one that, like,
also
shoots a moonblade or whatever?
Okay, something in my eyes here.
My God.
Some people have said, because I'm reading comments and everything, right? That actually in this DLC, what people are finding the best build to be is a sword and shield. Reason being, because every enemy hits so hard, you want the shield for damage negation. That way you can figure out what they're doing when they attack. That way you can see the animations.
When he didn't want
like
to
a major
spoil
problem with the
himself?
dancing lion you try to see what he's doing, but he's constantly moving towards the camera. When he does, the camera kind of gets lost and doesn't really show what's going on. So I can't really see the attack animations. I just keep seeing his body push into the camera. So was that a bite? Was that a double bite? Was that a bite and then a swoop? Was he spinning? Was he spitting? I can't tell because half the time the camera's kind of going wonky on me, right? And since in this build, I take so much damage, I have to dodge constantly. If I had a build where I could tank it, right? Where I could block, then at least I could go in there a few times and just watch, just observe what he's doing and figure out where the hitboxes are because I have the shield. I can see when it's hitting the shield. Like I said, that's the hit. That's the hit. So now I know when to block. I know when to dodge. You know, I haven't been able to learn that yet because the magic build doesn't allow you to do that. Okay? So perhaps that's the way to go. Maybe
does he need comments to help him with simple shit?
With a big shield and a big sword and doing
because
it that way.
Too used to it.
But the way I see it,
chat has completely.
I don't think my build's gonna really work moving forward.
His fans have completely ruined him. You know what? No,
I'll be honest. I used the magic build for an entire run, really right?
But a fundamental thing
sword
when it comes to DSP and his gameplay.
My second playthrough.
His gameplay has been ruined by chat being able to tell him on the fly whatever the fuck he needs to do. And listening to his comments to such a degree where he's just willing to change up everything he does to make it easier for him in a game without figuring out himself, it's also kind of lame too. This guy is completely reliant on his chat, and it's reflected on any game that gives him a modicum of challenge. And this is what you get today, where he's just talking about it. He's talking about the comment section.
I'm thinking.
Fuck that. Just play the game.
Not going to.
That's the best way to learn.
Build. I think what we'll do is we'll kill this boss, this Dragon Knight boss that we're fighting now. See what he drops. I don't know what he's going to drop. By the way, the schedule is wrong, and I will update that in a minute. Okay. And
schedule
see what he drops, and then based on that, decide to go respec. And what I respec will be dependent on. We'll look at some of the weapons that I've gotten. Like the Beast Claws, I actually like the idea of using the Beast Claws. I just don't see it as viable against bosses. I feel like that's going to be a class that's just not good against bosses because you have to hit so many times to get the combo going and to get the bleed going. So I don't know if it will work. Maybe it would. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's crazy good and you just move so fast that you're like dodging everything. I don't know. But I feel like it wouldn't be. It would only be good in certain situations.
Oh, we'll see.
I think we're gonna respec today. What we're gonna do, I don't know yet. But I think it makes sense. And then today would be basically kind of relearning
to
my moveset in the game,
fuck it.
playing differently.
Just better.
Likely, depending on the.
I just feel like we're just going on the bunga now.
Set, I probably won't
and
be
hopefully
using
it's going to jump R2 everything
magic flash. I'll probably go to
and everybody's going to complain.
Which would be
Phil,
good.
you're being boring again. Phil, you're jump R2ing.
So obviously I can do something like that.
Everybody's going to get felted collectively.
I think it just makes sense. That now is the time.
He's
going
to have a lot of vigor too.
Plus, I'll be honest, I am getting bored of the magic build. Like at first, it was good.
Oh, he's bored.
It was versatility.
All right.
But now I'm just getting to the point where it's like, well, everything's kind of the same.
Yeah.
You know, I'm kind of getting bored now.
Yeah.
I want to do something different.
I want to do something different.
I think it's time to mix it up and
Giant
change it
hammer
up.
build,
So
let's
today
go.
will be that day, but we got to beat this Dragon Knight boss first and see what happens once he's done.
Bunga.
Then we go from there. Okay. So that's the plan. As of today, you know.
Hopefully that sounds good.
My nose is bothering me, but I can get my flask to plus 12. Yeah, I don't know what my flask is. I have no clue what my flask actually is. You know, in my second run of Elden Ring, I wasn't as thorough as in my first run, looking for every single item or anything. I kind of ran through a bunch of areas. So I very well could have missed a bunch of the items. I don't know how to get the flask level though.
I hate this, man.
Grandfather sa Luhit Nurgle 333
so anyway,
named the following
that's what we're doing
PTS
today.
message.
Dragon Knight, and then
can't wait to see him running to specific areas to get certain items that he thinks will help him.
Yeah,
but yet he really doesn't know what is over there, but there might be something interesting over there.
Make a decision.
Look over there, guys.
And try it out.
You see that?
Okay. And then we'll continue with what we're doing.
Looks like something important there.
I don't know if we're gonna jump right back to the dancing lion boss or if I should continue to explore. I mean, we went across the bridge and now we're exploring that area. Maybe it makes more sense to keep looking around that area and trying out my new build in that area and see what I think. Look for more upgrade items. Oh, by the way, I missed.
It sounds so manic.
A critical thing. There is a point of grace with 2 NPCs and one of those stakes of Mikolo, whatever it's called, the signs. right outside the main gates to go west to get to the Legacy Dungeon. I missed it because I was hugging the wall. It's very important to go there because it starts a quest line. The reason I know this is because last night my wife and I watched another content creator play for.
Dude, he just accidentally admitted that he's just been looking up shit. He literally accidentally just admitted, yeah, man, I'm actually watching other people play the game and I know what it is I need to do. See, this is what I'm talking about. This guy is so fucking fake.
has redeemed the following PTS message. Press ESC to spend skill points.
It's so fucking fake. You can't trust any of his gameplay. He's already talking about, yeah, man, you know, I was watching this other guy. Me and the wife were watching this other guy perform for her and everything, and she was enjoying his gameplay or whatever. And during his, you know, gameplay, he performed this one thing that really got her excited. And I was just kind of depressed because I missed it. I didn't, you know, do that kind of thing to make her excited. So in reality, next time when we're, you know, together or whatever, I'm going to be able to do that, and I'm going to make her excited. Sound good? It's like it's literally like listening to a guy talk about how he's getting cucked in front of like his wife.
For about 2 hours.
Come on, man.
So I'm way behind where I am. No spoilers, but
he's like he's being cucked in front of his friends with his wife.
Oh yeah, so you're gonna find an NPC that's gonna give you a map that's gonna show you where all of these stakes are. I was like, what? I need that. I need that. I need to find that. I didn't even know that that existed. And there's a Sudafed upgrade item there that I missed.
I'm making the
like
jokes.
Son of a bitch. So how the hell did I just miss that?
Because you didn't explore.
So I gotta go back and get that for sure.
How the fuck did I miss that? I don't know. You didn't fucking explore. So you had to look at a fucking guide and the guide told you what to fucking do. Wow, shocker, spoiler alert. This is the same guy who casually admitted recently that he was like looking up a guide, and that's the reason why we had the joke. What was it? It was for Resident Evil, the fucking ballpark Franks and shit. Not Resident Evil, it was for Silent Hill. I think. I can't remember which one it was for. Maybe it was for Resident Evil. But the point is, the stupid joke was fucking dumb as hell. Anyway, he casually admits then that the joke was ballpark Franks because he was looking at a guide. The guy just happened to play some fucking sounds or whatever. It played an ad. That's kind of funny how we can admit that back in the day we used guides, but then here we're like pretending we're not using guides, and we're kind of hinting that we're using guides, and hopefully you're not going to call us out on it. Realistically. Complains that it missed shit when he just complained that he doesn't want to explore. Yeah. Where's my grace? You still haven't told me.
But then once we're done with that, you know, fair game to do whatever I want.
Boyfriend will
exploration, go back, fight the dragon boss,
figure it out.
or the I should say lion boss or whatever. Okay, so all right, well,
all right, sounds
good
great.
Stuff.
Good stuff.
That's the plan for today.
Good stuff. That's what we're doing.
Hold on,
sounds
everyone.
Great.
I have to blow my nose because I feel like I'm about to sneeze because of my allergies again.
I'm gonna
just
do
paused
a
the recording.
fucking nose job break. Get up. Maybe fucking. Did we grab our pants?
Pause the recording.
Hold up.
Oh.
Okay, he didn't grab a wedgie out of his ass. I always have to keep an eye out for that. If you pay attention to DSP Space Gaming, whenever he gets up, he has a tendency to pull a wedgie out of his ass. I know that's gross as shit, but I want you to know I notice it, so now you have to notice it too whenever he does it. I'm sorry that you have to know about this, but if you didn't know about it, now you know about it. You're gonna be haunted for the rest of your life knowing that DSP pulls wedgies out of his ass whenever he casually gets up to like do a thing. Suffer. Actually fucking suffer.
Oh. I will change the schedule now while we're paused. Let me do that because you guys are freaking out about the schedule.
We're gonna wait for him to do the schedule segment. And has a fetish to watch DSP dig in his butt. He makes it too obvious when he digs in his ass, and then he'll do a thing where he like sticks his fingers in his eyes. And I keep thinking, bro, this is a way you can get like a fucking disease or pink eye, man. Don't stick your finger in your ass and stick it in your eyes. Which, by the way, it does look like he has pink eye right now.
My allergies have been bothering me lately. You see, my eyes are burning today. I had to blow my nose. Like, oh. I hate having allergies, like and they're in full swing right now. We just hit summer here in the United States.
Yeah, allergy season, you know, notorious allergy season of spring.
So anyway,
anyway,
so that's the plan for today. I hope that you will stick around if you're here live on stream for this podcast to watch. Hopefully, I will make some good progress today.
I just have to say it enough times, right?
And we're changing it up. No more magic
Correct?
build. I've had enough with the magic for now. I want to do different stuff. So we'll see how it goes today, right? We will. We'll see how it goes and go from there. And I'm excited to see the difference and what happens if we respec and try something new. Okay?
All right. Sounds good.
You know, I just
Anyway.
realized
What? Camera's
I do have that
crooked?
other sword, that big saber
thank
thing.
God. I thought it was
And
going to say
that one
camera
is the
was
one, its
crooked.
ability, you plunge it into the ground and the horns come out of the ground. I wonder if that's any good. I think that's
It's
a
time
feat.
to kill the white
I wonder if that's any good at
man.
all.
What?
Anyway,
Ozard is now
so
living in Fallout.
that's today. So we'll
Here's
see what
a
happens
pure
today.
wild jump scare.
Thankfully,
Thank you,
after
Paul.
today's
Appreciate it,
major
man.
stream of Elden Ring, we get a break with Stardew Valley tonight, React Day tomorrow, but then we got 2 more major streams of it, Monday and Tuesday, and keep in mind, it continues as the major featured stream for a while. It will be balanced here and there with Street Fighter 6, perhaps. We'll see. Because I think what I'll do is I'll maybe alternate night streams between Stardew Valley and Fallout 4, and then have day streams be either Elden Ring DLC or Street Fighter 6, Bison, or otherwise, and go from there. So, let's see how it goes. I'm excited
Green Prime is
for the
now
respec
lurking
today,
in
and I'm
Fallout.
excited. I hope you guys will stick
Farming
around.
those follow.
And I certainly
And there's no
hope
follow.
you guys will support
Appreciate
the
it.
Elden Ring stuff as well. And what I mean by that is,
What do I mean by support?
yesterday the daytime stream was well supported.
Uh-oh.
One person did an insanely huge tip, and then others kind of jumped on, and it ended up being a really successful first stream, which was great.
Okay.
The late stream, already things slowed down.
What?
And quite honestly, that late night stream of Elden Ring last night actually did worse than what if I had done a Friday Night Fights.
What?
I didn't.
What? What the? Wait, what? What the fuck? Excuse me.
Let's see how it goes. I'm excited for the respec today, and I'm
What
excited. I hope
the
you guys will stick
fuck?
around. And I certainly hope that you guys will support the Elden Ring stuff.
Oh
as well.
my
By that is,
god, you're kidding me.
yesterday the daytime stream was well supported.
I wanna hear this.
One person did an insanely huge tip, and then others kind of jumped on, and it ended up being a really successful first stream, which was great. The late stream, already things slowed down, and quite honestly, that late night stream of Elden Ring last night actually did worse than what if I had done a Friday Night Fights.
He literally made $200 in tips that day. More than $200. His goal for every fucking day is $50 a day, which, if you want to be a little fucking asshole about it, was only just about $15 away. But he already made up for it in the day stream. So now $50 a day isn't even fucking enough when we have a new game like Elden Ring, because we're already expecting more support than normal. What a dickhead. Dude, this guy is such a fucking dickhead. He didn't even have to say any of this. He could have just shut the fuck up. He could have just shut the fuck up and said it was very supportive. Hopefully we'll keep up the pace. Hopefully we'll keep it up. Instead, he was like, I could have played Street Fighter and made more money. Yeah, you could have also invested into like all sorts of fucking stocks and virtual currency and shit. You could have invested into so much more, man. You could have invested into like gambling tickets. You could have invested into Boss Man. Boss Man was looking for $100 and he would have paid you $110 if he won. You could have invested into Boss Man and you could have made more money than you did last night. I guess. Whatever. You could have done a lot of things.
That didn't matter because I had a good daytime stream. But I think you see the point.
What is the point?
When I start to hyper focus
You gotta
on
give me
something too
money?
much, then it kind of doesn't feel special. Maybe I shouldn't have done Elden Ring all day yesterday, but I really wanted to get as far in as I could on day one, you know, to get a real formulated opinion on it.
He didn't get anywhere on day one. He didn't complete any major bosses. He didn't get any major wins of anything. He literally did nothing in 5.5 hours of gameplay. Period. So we can't even make the argument we made progress yesterday because we literally didn't do shit. Great. We beat some fucking giant. How many of those are around? Whatever.
And think of it this way, if I
what a
hadn't done
thing.
that, if I'd only done the first stream, I never would have even seen that first major boss and been able to formulate any kind of a opinion, right? So I'm glad I played as much as I did.
I'm glad
But at
you
the
did
same
too.
time, I feel like already perhaps it's burning out. because I played so much of it on the first day. I don't know. Let's see how it goes today. Hopefully you guys will stick around and continue to support the streams. Super chat.
How can we even pretend that we're burning out on the game? Last night he had 500 viewers on average. If anything, we have been getting more views and more attention on the games than we have ever gotten on any other game since Street Fighter 6 initially dropped. And the beta. This isn't even a problem about people are being burnt out. They literally want to see him suffer. Just DSP doesn't want to suffer, both financially and through getting his ass beaten by a boss.
That's super stickers, memberships, give them
Give me
memberships,
money,
and
money,
tips are all
money,
appreciated.
and money. The best way to support is tips.
And of course,
that helps me
being
immediately.
around, or me playing
Me being
Elden
around.
Ring and or super hard games means we have more viewers around. Great day to maybe give some memberships to the community, right? So please consider it. Thank you. Okay, so as I said, that was the majority of what I wanted to talk about today. All right, I so far seem to have one shout out to do. Let me take a quick look. Nope, it's a troll. They're just gonna ignore the troll.
All right, get rid of him.
I knew
Eradicate
it.
him.
So I have
him out of
absolutely
here.
no contributions to shout out so far today. I think you start to
Wow.
see my point now
What?
about Elden Ring.
What?
So normally I would do shout outs, but we have nothing
You
to do.
contribution.
So I guess what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna
And for-
open up
it's from
Q&A.
somebody
Let's
you
see what
didn't
you guys
like.
have to say. Personally, what do you guys
This guy
think about
is
Elden
being a
Ring's
complete
DLC so
asshole
far?
today.
What are you guys coming across?
Oh my god!
Right, in the DLC if
Talk
you're
to
playing
me.
it yourself.
Give me some money.
What are your thoughts
Tell me
about
how
my
much
plans today?
I'm
Respect.
cool.
I want to hear everyone's opinions. So,
Except
time in
that
the
guy-
chat, let's
But
get some combo
Chatigin
going.
has
I want to
redeemed
listen
the
to everybody's
following
opinions,
TTS
except that
message.
one guy
This
that
is
talked to me
absolutely
and gave me
no.
$1. That one guy who gave me $1, I don't want to listen to his opinion. He was fucking stupid. He was a troll. Why was he a troll? We didn't even hear the
Now this is
opinion.
now
And we
lurking
didn't count the
involved.
money.
Welcome to the secret club, Sassy Baka.
So what if that troll gave him $10 and DSP didn't read it? He's just at $0 now? What does that even mean? What does any of this even mean? He's not even counting the troll contributions anymore. He just sweeps it on the rug. He's like, thanks for the money, asshole. I'm not going to count it towards anything. I know you gave me some dollars or whatever, but I disagree with the comment. Fucking hell.
Owen, let's see what you have to say about it.
Hopefully you have something cool to say. Like you love me and my content. That's always something cool. Who's up here? Look at these guys. Wanna shoot
Gordon did
me.
a super chat and he said, laughing my ass off, Stardew on top. Well, I don't know
Yep.
what you mean by that.
It's shit. It's Stardew.
I don't know what you mean by that.
You should be
Stardew
playing
on
the new
top, but okay,
games.
thank you, Jordan.
He's making fun of you. He can't even take that seriously. Jordan's been giving him way too much money. Jordan's been giving him way too much
Don
money.
Imus says,
so he's
lots
gotta
of
pretend.
secrets you're missing this playthrough. Well, I've explored the map.
No, you haven't.
I fully went all around exploring.
You
I found
really
some optional
didn't.
dungeons and the
You
like. I don't know
actually
what
did not
secrets
explore.
it is that you're
You were
referencing
complaining
that I
about
missed.
having to explore. You have not been exploring.
Grima de Coco thinks the DLC is very good.
Yep.
Abdullah thinks Elden Ring is overhyped garbage.
Yeah. We're going to care about Abdullah, by
There
the
you
way.
go.
Abdullah, the guy who used to be his top pay pig back on Twitch when he was fucking Darth Vader or Jesus Christ. Vidar Viking. Sorry, I was about to mess it up with the Radovan Viking or something else. But it's like fucking Vidar Viking. Back in the day, he used to be the top pay pig, and now he just occasionally comes by, drops a tier 3 sub, and it's like, yeah, man, I used to support you, but now I got to focus on my butler duties. I'm sorry, dude. I could drop more, but your opinion is pretty cool, Phil. I agree. You know what? The DLC is kind of fucking overhyped. I guess it is. Who overhyped it? DSP is the one who overhyped this stupid ass fucking DLC. He's the one who's been talking about it for
Leader has
months.
redeemed the following TTS message.
We didn't
So
overhype
he
this.
is mad that his magic build isn't rolling everything.
Exactly.
He is going to struggle in the later bosses.
He's
He
gonna
has no
change.
idea.
He's just gonna change to a high strength, high vigor build, and he's just gonna fucking stomp everything. It's worthless. Don't even complain. Because at some point he's just gonna beat all the enemies and say the DLC wasn't that big of a deal, and he's gonna say it was pretty cool. Because right now it's not cool because he's having to struggle just a little bit. But don't you worry, that struggle is gonna end, and when it ends, you're gonna hear how great this game was.
Between strength and dex, which do I prefer? Probably strength. As you saw in my first run, I was using giant swords and just smashing things with them. Luigi says, I'm happy you're considering the another build. Oh, I'm not considering it. I'm absolutely doing it.
I'm not considering it. I'm doing it.
Maximum Turbo says, FromSoft has gotten into the habit of just making bosses fast and kill you with 1 to 2 hits. It would actually be great to see something challenging rather than annoying.
Wow, we're really just inflating his ego right now. Yeah. It wasn't that I was having trouble with anything. It's just the game is annoying.
Cyber TV says it's tough if you don't know a full day of any particular game will be successful unless, of course, you do it. Some games are successful no matter when you play, and others will struggle. Correct.
Oh, yeah, of course. Elden Ring is struggling right now.
As fuck.
Elden Ring, you know, that stupid indie game? That shit's struggling right now. Remember when he got like upwards of 1,200 fucking
DLCs
viewers?
are always harder than the base game. Well, I learned that from the Bloodborne DLC. Remember that?
Is he trying to pretend that wasn't the case?
No, really.
Elden Ring was
really the way I see it, right, is it's kind of like what happened to me in Dark Souls 2. In Dark Souls 2, I used Dick Lightning, the freaking crazy lightning bolt magic, lightning spear, the entire playthrough.
And he finds ways to complain. No money. No problems.
I want you to act. That's a really good point. Of all the DLC that has come out within the last like fucking 5 years, of all the DLC, this has literally been over-delivered content. They gave you a whole bunch of shit to do. He's complained about the DLC being ass on so many fucking games. And when he gets DLC that actually matters, all of a sudden, nah, man, that's fucking mid. Mid is hell, all hell. Bro, I'm not even shilling for the game. Like, I'm not even playing Elden Ring.
Dude, it carried me the whole playthrough.
But we're being so weird about this.
Trivialized.
We're being so
then when the DLC
fucking
came
weird
out,
and
they
fake.
completely nerfed it. So it didn't work anymore, and I had to respec and learn the game over for the DLCs. I feel like that's what's happened here. Like, Magic build is good for the base game. When Magic staggers, which it hasn't staggered at all, if you haven't noticed, I haven't staggered a single enemy with Magic yet. They just, like, act like you're not hitting them. They all tank it. They don't, apparently, even the Rock Sling isn't building up stagger at all in this DLC. So, it seems like they definitely nerfed it. You can still use it, but it just makes it so much harder for you. So, I really feel like I just need to respec into something different because it's not working. They've changed the game again. You know what I'm saying?
You know, they changed the game, even though they didn't change the game. And we accused them of not changing the game, but all of a sudden they changed the game now.
Traps thinks that this new leveling system is terrible. It trivializes your normal base levels to the point where I don't even care about loons if I ruse them. Yeah, same with me. Like,
loons when I
started thinking, even if I lose the runes, it doesn't matter. All I was going to do is get another level, and the levels aren't helping anymore anyway, so who gives a shit about the runes? Right? Like, you don't even care about collecting them anymore.
Maybe it's not a focus on leveling. Maybe it's a DLC because it's a side story, and it's not integral to the main story.
It's very hard to pronounce your name, by the way. It says, would you consider respecking into something you haven't done before?
Yeah.
Dagger, short, medium sword, maybe a bludgeoning weapon. Maybe if it's something viable. I'm seriously considering those claws. I think those claws look badass, and the idea that they build bleed is cool.
Man,
but I need to figure out a build that'll work with. You know,
I need DSP with the multi builds right now.
Cyber CV says, I really like the Dark Souls 3 DLCs. The best of all from Software, but Dark Souls 2 also had great DLCs.
Alright.
Ugh.
Allergies.
Remember how hard Ring City was? Not that hard. For me, Ring City actually was not that hard. If you remember, a lot of people complained about Ring City, that being too difficult. I actually didn't think it was that tough at all. I actually went through it not with that much problem. I think one of the bosses gave me a problem. I'm trying to remember which one. But I didn't really think it was that tough. I actually really liked it because it tied to Dark Souls 2.
This mask should sell for much. Come on. Get rid of the soda. Get the stone greatsword. Get rid of the pork chops.
See, I want to use the claws, but my concern is the claws work on everything. Then I get to a boss, they don't do shit. That's my concern.
Don't worry, use a different weapon.
I try to fight this lion, and I try to start hitting him, and I can't because he's tanky.
You can have multiple
he's
weapons,
not going to stagger when I start hitting him. So I
he
hit him twice,
and
that's it. I can never do a combo to build up bleed, so it never works.
Stupid. He wants somebody to just tell him what's the god build. What does he have on him right now that'll just work? Guys, can you just tell me which one of these fucking items are just gonna Fucking roll everything.
Jade says he's also suffering from his allergies too. He knows what it's like. Yeah, it stinks.
I mean, get out of here. Roll out of here. Roll out. This fucking Q&A sucks so much. We're just giving advice for people who know nothing about whatever he's doing. Or maybe he doesn't know what they're doing. Or he doesn't even know what it's about.
Can you move fast when using the Wolverine claws? Yeah, I think that's the point. I think the whole point of that build is that you're incredibly fast moving and zipping around. Because there's two different special attacks, the R2 and then the charge L2. And each one is like a combo, an auto combo, where he just goes slashing back and forth like this, basically. And he's like darting around as he does it. And I think with the L2, he actually jumps
Careful,
to it.
if you're moving too fast.
And again,
Jade's
the whole point
gonna
is that'll work if the boss isn't tanking it out and knocking you out of your combo and doing 90% damage. You see what I'm saying?
Me no feel good.
That's a problem.
You move too fast. Me getting sick. Okay, me nap. Ban the city right quick.
There you go. Nick says, dexterity weapons are going to be hard. A lot of enemies tank hits and are aggressive and won't be able to combo enough to cause the buildup. That's my concern. That's like genuine concern. If you need to hit a ton to get the buildup to work, how are you going to finish? And how are you ever going to have it be effective?
And he really wants
just, somebody to
just give him the cheese.
Skadu blessing level.
He's
so
not even finding the cheese.
Shadow, so Skadu. Supposed to say it like shadow. So shadow, Skadu. So it's supposed to sound exactly the same, but it really doesn't. So each Skadu blessing level increases your stats by 5%. There's 20 blessing levels total. You could be 100% stronger by the end. Wow. I've never purchased a special edition console before, not on purpose anyway. There was once when I needed a spare Dreamcast, and the only one I could find on eBay was the sports edition that came bundled with a sports game, so that's the one I bought. But outside of that, I have never purposefully bought a special edition console tied into any game, no.
I feel like that's not true, but I'm not going to call him out on that.
A lot of people saying they should have got away from the open world element. I think they didn't want to stray from the Elden Ring formula. I personally prefer the legacy dungeons. I mean, I'm going to be honest. It's too samey. It feels like they didn't try to innovate or do anything different so far. I'm 5.5 hours in,
but
and it feels to me like it's just
I feel like it was a
again
PS3
with the same shortcomings, the same boringness of the open world. There's nothing in it. I'm going around. Where the fuck is all the content? They claimed this was going to be a more condensed, packed DLC, and I'm riding around and I see a bunch of ghost gravestones and fucking sheep rolling around. Where the fuck is the content?
Where's the
and
content?
I gotta find it.
You
I gotta
still
work to
haven't
find
told
it,
me.
right? What is going on?
I'm having to work to find the content. Normally, the content's just given to me.
I think the boss combo strings have gotten way too long. You dodge for 30 seconds to get a small window to deal damage. This dancing lion, right? He has one attack where he goes back like this and he charges forward and he's open for several seconds after. Literally every other attack he has is a hit string. So it's kind of like attack, second attack, then he has an option to do a third rising attack, and if he's a real dick, he'll start spinning and spinning everywhere. And you're right, that's a good like 15 plus seconds of straight attacks that you have to know how to avoid before you can even think about healing or hitting. So it becomes a dance. Rather than a fight, it becomes more of a dance. And I don't necessarily know if that works. For some builds, probably yes, and others no. It ain't working for Magic build, that's for sure. And again, I'm not saying I don't like the DLC. I do. I had a lot of fun in the Legacy Dungeon. I actually had a lot of fun in the Belarus Jail, right? Some of the bosses have been fun, but I do feel like there's some things that are missteps here. Do I think reviewers are too scared to criticize the DLC because of possible backlash? Reviewers are pussies. Reviewers will roll with whatever to make sure that they're in line with popularity. Keep in mind, Elden Ring was the best-selling FromSoft game of all time. You now have insanely popular viral streamers.
This is so fucking rich coming from this guy. You know how many times this guy plays a fucking video game where he's like 20 hours in and people ask, what do you think about the game? And his fucking response will always be, I don't know, I don't know, I can't formulate an opinion, I haven't been playing the game that long, whatever. He does this all the time for every single game he plays, when he's hoping that the audience are gonna still stick around, and he's like not sure if he says that the game is dog shit, they're gonna stick around. Because obviously if you say the game is shit and you're still playing it, then you're either doing it for the money or you're doing it for the fans or something, but you're not doing it for you. Which DSP likes to pretend he's doing it for him. But god damn, is he such a disingenuous prick when it comes to fucking reviewing a game, any fucking game at all. Because he'll never tell you if he likes or hates it until the very fucking end. Unless he really, really likes it, then he's gonna suck it off. But if he hates the game, he will do everything in his power never to say he hates the game. Not until it's near the very fucking end, or it's pissed him off significantly and he has to like rage complete it. If he can't rage quit it, he'll rage complete the game, and he'll tell you how much it sucked dick. Hopefully, maybe, who knows? You gotta hope this guy is true and honest.
Some magic build, my vigor has not been a concern, so it's pretty bad. I agree. Sarah says, you ever enjoy just following the popular or common consensus so you don't get a negative backlash?
Yeah.
No, I just do what I'm honest about. I'm gonna be honest forever.
Oh, yeah?
I'm not gonna change. I'm 42 years old, 16-year YouTuber. I'm never gonna change at this point. You know, I'm never gonna become a butt kisser. I'm not gonna be the guy who praises a game or says, oh, I can't say anything negative because I'm under an NDA. I would never want to do that. I'm known for the opposite. So yeah, no, I'm never gonna change to be like that. What was my favorite legacy dungeon in the main game? You know, thinking back, I liked a lot of the legacy dungeons.
Yeah, he doesn't know. He actually doesn't know.
I would say the Illyrian magic school was really fun. I liked how it was designed. Nice looking, but also some cool secrets and things in there.
School.
I liked the optional magic dungeon in the upper left-hand corner of the map, the castle. I can't remember what it was called, but I like that too. I definitely liked Volcano Manor. And that dungeon with the lava and everything is pretty neat.
Yeah, the lava was
I definitely
cool.
like the Golden
agree.
City, right? The main capital city. That was really fun. And definitely
such high level things.
What is the floating city called?
These are such
Whatever the
high
floating
level
city
things.
is called. I've forgotten what it's called at this
point.
point.
He doesn't have a favorite one. He just has to remember in generalities
so
things that
I can't remember,
he did
but
before.
I love that too. So, and that's just a few like, oh, those are good. Like, Tree. Yeah, Alien Tree's good.
That's
like,
pretty good.
I don't think there's a legacy dungeon in Elden Ring that's bad. It's just there's levels of how cool and creative they were and how much more interesting they got.
Yeah, we're sucking the fuck
Far
out of
Missoula.
this
Yes,
up.
Far Missoula. Also, what I really liked was how some of them link together. Like when you start going into the well, and then you realize, oh my god, the Ansel River is connected to this one, and all this was all a view that you could see from different levels of this dungeon all along, and it was really neat in that regard. Like, again, that's what they excel at. When you're doing that content, that's like, dude, this is like the best in class that you can get, right? It is like best in class gameplay when you're doing that cool legacy dungeon stuff. That's what I want more of. I don't need more boring open world. You want to know the truth? It's probably easy for them to make the open world. It's so much
has
reused
redeemed
content,
the following TTS message. The word legacy means nothing, it's just some buzzword that reminds him of something because of nostalgia.
Yes, it is. Legacy means nothing. I don't even know where he came up with this word to use for the dungeons, because it's wild for him to say legacy dungeon when he's playing the same fucking game that has the same fucking dungeons in it. What are we even saying is a legacy at that point? The old dungeons? Before the DLC dungeons? Did they get like some special oregano seasoning that makes it like super special? I don't fucking know. I can't figure it out. If you wanted to ask me like what my favorite dungeon was in the entire fucking Elden Ring, it literally was the ones where you do go down the well. Where you have like the entire underground, what would it be considered? It's almost like another fucking world. It has its own night sky and everything. I thought the way everything looked down there was fucking fantastic. It was marvelous. There you go. That's one individual thing that I thought was pretty fucking cool. How hard is it for him to just pick one thing? It's not hard, but he's just remembering like a whole bunch of things. I don't remember the name for it. Necron? There you go. I thought it looked neat as shit. He barely remembers half of the Skyrim dungeons. Nobody remembers the Skyrim dungeons. I'm not even going to pretend that people who actually remember them for any good reason. Skyrim dungeons are fucking ass. All of them. Collectively. I hate them. Wish they would go away. We hate the Skyrim dungeons. They suck. There you go. That's my answer for Skyrim.
Assets, it's not a big deal. The legacy dungeons are probably tougher to design. So they shovel in a lot of the open world shit because it's easier to pump out. It sucks. I want more legacy dungeons. I hope there's a lot. By the way, if you guys, does anyone know actually how many legacy dungeons are in the DLC? I've only seen the one, and I saw that jail, which I don't even know if it's considered one or not. I hope there's a bunch, because right now I want more legacy dungeon content, and I gotta find it.
Hopefully people can help them find the legacy dungeons, whatever the fuck that means.
Cybers TV says, what if they eliminated the open world and separate dungeons similar to Dark Souls 1? Would you prefer that? I mean, dude, in reality, this is Dark Souls 4. Look, I already said this. When Elden Ring came out, I said, you're playing Dark Souls 4. You realize that, right? It's literally Dark Souls 4 with an open world that requires some jumping and parkour. But it's Dark Souls 4. It's the same game.
Is that good or bad?
Sorry, it is.
Is that good
you can't even argue
or
that.
bad?
It's just they wanted to make Dark Souls 4, but they already said they weren't going to make any more Dark Souls games. So their excuse that it's a new franchise is, oh, there's an open world where you can now jump. But it's Dark Souls 4. It was the evolution that they definitely wanted for the franchise. I think they should have just been like, yeah, it's Dark Souls 4. And I think it would have been better. But then, you know what I'm saying? Like,
how would it have been better? If the name of the fucking cookie was just like, okay, if we named this is literally an Oreos reference, but if we kept the name of Oreos to, what is it, it wasn't even a change of name. Instead of having Oreos, we stuck with the Hydrox biscuits or whatever the fuck they were called. It would have been more popular because those have been around forever instead of Oreos, even though they're the same fucking cookie, right? I mean, I guess, but renaming it is kind of cool too. Like, who fucking cares? Who actually cares if it gets renamed? I don't think anybody's making that argument.
Absolutely, I want more of that Dark Souls feel, and I think that a lot of it gets watered down by this boring open world. So there's 10 dungeon-specific bosses, 11 core main bosses. There's a lot more dungeons to go. Cool. This is gonna take a long time then. We'll be doing this for weeks, and I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with playing the Elden Ring DLC like all July, if that's what it takes.
I'm not sure he's okay with it.
I have a question. I have a question, guys. This is really important for you guys. What do you think about the visual quality of the stream and the videos?
I think
that's actually a very important question I forgot to ask yesterday. With this new setup now,
you still have
this new capture device, me playing high refresh rate VRR, me at the higher bit rate.
Bro,
what do you think of the quality of what you saw?
Buzzwords.
I was watching the videos back, and I was like,
so many buzzwords.
That is a humongous improvement. As you might notice, there is absolutely no motion blur at all anymore. There used to be motion blur when I would move, you'd see pixelization and shit. I'm not seeing it at all anymore. And it looks crispy, like very crisp and clear to me in 1080p. So I'm very pleased with those upgrades.
Yes,
I'm like,
DSP has finally become crispy.
Let me put it this way. I'm looking at my videos and I'm comparing to someone who's playing the game on a high-end gaming PC. They look exactly the same. They look the same to me. Like, I'm not even seeing any difference.
But Chatiding has redeemed the following TTS
my
message.
setup to be on par with top setups is fucking crazy. Because I've always been behind the ball in that regard, as you guys know. And now it seems like I've caught up, which is excellent.
I've caught up to the PC generation.
But I do have some possibly bad news.
What's that?
Someone said that what they did is they took their computer and their processor, and they downclocked it to essentially run at the same speeds as my wife's PC. Okay? And they ran a test to see could they encode 1440p video, and it failed the test.
Yeah.
It basically got choppy.
No shit. No fucking shit. No, okay, let's not even pretend for a second that he's gonna even have the space requirements for whatever video format he's outputting to put into 2K. Let's just forget all of that in the first place. What he has, or what he will be transferring to, cannot even handle the 2K on its own. On top of that, he's also streaming. Yes, he's not adding anything additional, but the more little knickknacks that you add on the more applications that you start running, the more you start running fucking games, the more you start running programs, the more you start running redeems for things, the more you start running fucking captures and shit, the more you put up here, the worse it's gonna get, because you're gonna have to ask it to do so many more things. So many more things. It's just an inevitability. That's just how this works. Can you imagine what it's like right now for the fact that I'm currently removing a background to make a transparent version of Phil as I'm playing a video game, as I'm currently having redeems, as I have not one, not two, but 3 bots currently running just for chat? Yeah, there's a whole lot of things I'm running on the back end as well. But you're gonna tell me that him transferring over to a fucking PC that's 7 years old and that has a 1080 a graphics card, a fucking GTX 1080, I don't, some like Backwaters 7th gen i7. You're telling me that's going to be able to do what he needs to do? Bro, get the fuck out of here. It's not going to do what he needs to do. That's just what it is. I hate how fucking fake he is. I hate how dumb he is. I hate how he pretends to do so much, but he does so little. I wish he would just stop pretending and just be real for like 2 fucking seconds. Just stop. Get some help. Stop pretending everything's gonna be fixed. You need to just invest in your fucking business. 1080 hasn't been good since 2014. It really hasn't. I mean, it'll do what he needs to do, which will get him through the next like 5 years if he's gonna be outputting 1080p and all it's doing is capturing a console. But if that's all you're really doing at the end of the day, are you even really improving? I mean, yeah, marginally, but it's not enough. It really isn't enough for him to be bragging about it. You know what? I probably would care less if he would just stop bragging about shit. Because at the end of the day, this is just some dude bragging about how his computer is a little less crusty than the last computer that he had. Because he, like, bummed it from his wife. Also, can we talk about the fact that he's literally taking his wife's PC? Sorry, honey, I need this now. I know he talked to her about it, but can you imagine what that conversation was at the dinner table? Honey, you're not using this PC. I really need it because my business is failing and also my PC is going out. I could buy a new one, but I'm not going to. I honestly have a feeling that he probably just strong-armed her into getting it, and that's just the long and short of it.
They're afraid that even with me migrating from my current PC to my wife's PC, either in late July, early August, I'm not going to be able to do an increase in resolution. It's going to be stuck at 1080p. So I won't know until I test, but yeah, they tested and said it didn't work. So
who knows? He could be lying. Take a sip. Fucking goddamn delicious.
Sarah says you're on level footing now with high-end streamers. I mean, I'm being honest. I'm looking at people who only like play on PC, and I'm comparing my footage with them, and it looks the same. Same with Street Fighter. This whole year that I was playing Street Fighter 6, I would record and upload, and my footage would be okay. But then I would watch other videos of archive fights, and they would look amazing. Now I'm watching my own videos back, comparing with the archive footage from pro players, and it all looks the same. And I'm like, yes, I'm so happy. Like, finally, I've gotten there. It took a long time, but I've gotten up. Right?
Guys, I've caught up. Wave back and forth, wiggle around.
Darren, I hear what you're saying. He's saying some of us are having Souls burnout, but you have to understand that this is all that's been going on. You know, I needed to finish the second run in time for this so that I could even play it. I had to get to the mode
you didn't.
alter,
you actually
right?
Didn't.
So I had to do the second run. And Another Crab's Treasure, quite frankly, is probably the one other game this year that was quite good. So even though I understand you might say, oh, it's too much Souls, actually this has been the best content I feel like I've been doing besides maybe Street Fighter 6, you know?
Why?
So it is what it is. I understand to be burned out, but hey, I mean, this is all that we're doing right now. It's all that's out. This is the biggest release of the year. Everything else has fizzled out and been disappointing or boring.
Fuck you. This content's good, me. And I agree.
Why couldn't I have played the DLC on my first character? Because I restarted the game.
Why?
By accident. When I beat the game the first time,
that was an
accident. I accidentally immediately restarted and started from the beginning. So I
literally
didn't have
told you
anymore.
not to, and you did it.
I basically screwed myself. I didn't realize it when I beat it, but I was accidentally selected start over, and it deleted my first run essentially. So, yeah, I was screwed. That's why I did a whole second run to get back up to that low altar point. That first run is gone. Doesn't exist.
I mean, it does exist. It just isn't at the spot that you need to be. You just hit New Game Plus, which you could have done, but you didn't do it. That's what happened. Are we banning another idiot? Oh. Hey,
so here's the thing.
That's pretty good.
If you think of Another Crab's Treasure, and by the way, by no means am I saying that Another Crab's Treasure is better than what it's trying to imitate, but Another Crab's Treasure does have an open world part. That's the central hub of the different areas and dungeons and things like that. But the open world doesn't overstay its welcome. A lot of it is very optional, right? Like, it's not like, oh, here, go explore this world, and you have to for like fucking hours on end. You could just go right to where you want to go. So, I don't know. I actually feel like Another Crab's Treasure did a good balance of it.
I can't wait for Another Crab's Treasure
when you want. You don't have to. You can go back later and do more of it. A la Zelda, like when you get a new ability. I kind of like how they did it.
Guys, you're not going to believe this. Another Crab's Treasure is Game of the Year.
I received a $1 anonymous tip from what I played so far. I've only found 4 of the legacy dungeons, but there is tons of open world. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Well, we'll see as we continue. We'll see what happens as we continue. Ay, ay, ay.
Here, Samurai Man.
Someone has asked in chat, how do I prefer if someone's going to contribute? That is your prerogative. I'm not here to talk to you and tell you how you want to contribute or whatever.
Give you money.
If you want to contribute, thank you so much for supporting. Anything is appreciated. Super chat, super sticker, gifted memberships, regular memberships, tips, all
tell
appreciated.
me, what's the preferred
my
method
goal
of giving me
each
money?
stream is to hit 50 bucks in tips. That's my goal. If I hit it, great. If I don't, it's not the end of the world. But that's the general rule of thumb, is to try to hit 50 bucks in tips.
You hit that yesterday.
So we're not there yet, obviously.
It was the end of the world.
Maybe that's up to you. That's your prerogative, okay? No, I'm not playing Lords of the Fallen. I'm not playing that game. I had no interest in it to begin with. I really didn't. I looked at it, I was like, the first one sucked ass. It took them so long to fix it. It was a piece of shit. I didn't want to play the second one. I'm glad I didn't. I feel like it would have been a waste of time. I played the better Souls-likes. I played Lies of P. I played Another Crab's Treasure. I skipped the filler crap one.
I kind of strung you along for a little bit, but get tricked, idiots. I was never going to play that game. You fucking morons.
Oh, God. Thymesia. That game was terrible. I saw someone play it. It was so repetitive and boring. Oh my god. And what was the other one too?
Oh my god.
The fucking robot androids. Like this fucking... It's like an android housekeeper, but then she becomes a fighter. She's fighting a robot. It's so generic and repetitive. Like the game's terrible. These other Souls-likes are terrible, man. It's not inspired at all.
Uninspired trash.
Steel Rising. Is that what it was called? Oh. The Jetsons? Oh no, the Jetsons Souls-like is actually quite good. The Spacely Sprockets boss fight? Oh man. Crazy.
Yeah, he's really just venturing off the path right now.
You should just, since they're making so many Souls-like, they may as well just fucking do the stupidest one,
Fuck
right?
you.
They should do a SpongeBob Souls-like, a fucking...
You better
know
not.
what I'm saying?
This is
What,
my
make
bed.
a Rugrats Souls-like. Go for it. Why not? Because at this point, you made so many of them, you might as well just jump the shark and do every possible stupid thing, right?
We're putting this bed's going to my room.
Cybers TV said if you played Lords of the Fallen, it would have ended up like another Wolong situation. I believe you. I totally believe you. Man, Wolong stunk. Are Souls games roguelikes? No, I don't think so. The whole idea of a roguelike is that you have to do everything in one run, right? You do slowly, incrementally get better because you get to retain certain things from each run, right? But there's an element of randomness in your builds and things that's not present in Dark Souls-like games, right?
That's not always the case with roguelikes. You can have progression, but that's optional. There are times where you don't get progression. What the fuck? Employees! Oh my god, these random ass employees coming into the rooms and shit.
Right? Like, in Dark Souls, it's very intentional what you're doing. If you go into a dungeon in Dark Souls, you have a build. You're using the build to succeed. It's not like you don't know what you're going to find in the dungeon that you can use, and in one run, you're using ice element and slashing, and in the next run, you're using a giant hammer that shoots lightning, but that's just because you found it there, right? You're using a build you intend to build skillfully and intentionally, as opposed to roguelikes. You don't know what you're gonna get. And by the way, when you die, you got to start the whole run over. Dark Souls has checkpoints, right?
Please, we're coming in here thinking they own the place. What the fuck? Ooh, the soil lantern's pretty
Flintstone
good.
Souls. Most enemies are dinosaurs and other cavemen. You could summon Barney Rubble as your partner. There you go. And they should get John Goodman to voice the character. Now that would be a sick game. If they got Rick Moranis to voice fucking Barney, that would be insane. They'd never do that, though. The Wizard of Oz Lies of P next game will be amazing. Yeah, they've already announced that Lies of P did so well, they're absolutely making more content. They haven't said fully if it's going to be a DLC expansion or if it's going to be the sequel, but they already greenlit it and are working on it, so that's excellent because I love Lies of P. Sesame Street Souls, now that would be sick. Oscar the Grouch boss, he finally opens the can and comes out, and he's a giant tentacled monster with claws and shit. He's like, I've been in the can the whole time, kids! Oh my god.
I wonder if he thinks this is entertaining to his adult audience. It has to be, right? Else he wouldn't be doing it. I don't know. Sometimes I think about that.
There you go. Cookie Monster loses his mind. He gets rage and he gets like carnal rage. He just can't stop. He has to eat everything. He just eats everything around him. He eats people. He eats the other puppets.
He pretend to be a fan of Sesame Street. I feel like he may have watched Sesame Street when he was younger, but he just kind of memes it because he doesn't really have any other like frame of reference. Like, what else is going on in his life? I don't know. Sesame Street, I
well,
suppose.
guys, unless anyone has anything else that they would like to discuss, I feel like we should end the podcast now. Try to get a little bit of extra gameplay in, because I want to beat this Dragon Knight boss to see what he drops and then judge from there what the respec will be. And thank you to those who are chilling and anyone who supported so far. And do you want to do it? Want to just get over there?
Do what? Head over where?
It makes sense to wrap this up.
Head over
and
to the
get to
game.
it. I hope he drops the axes. I'd like to try them, but I don't think he's going to. Because I want him to, he won't.
I was getting really, really confused. Kind of
By
scared
the way, Soul
even.
Psych Records to the super chat says, speaking of Soul's likes, well, Soul Psych likes Phil. Well, thank you to Soul Psych Records for that super chat. I can't update the leaderboard right now because I'm on a different screen. But all right.
You could.
Thank you all. Please
You
stick
actually
around.
could.
And hang out with me for Elden Ring DLC today.
Yeah.
And
Stick
thanks for
around.
all your input. A lot of
Thank you
people,
for the money.
idiots out there say, aha, Phil hates the DLC, he's going to quit it. I don't hate the DLC, and I'm not going to quit it. Neither of those things were said, but that's what moronic
What are they
drama queen
complaining
bitches
about?
do. They just make shit up because they're drama queen bitches. They have nothing better to do but try to make money off of that. Well, it's not, none of it's true. So, I can't wait to continue today. Thank you all,
That
and see you
ODD's kicking in.
tomorrow, and I'll tell you how it all went.
Man, that ODD. Yeah,
Okay.
man, a bunch of bitches. They don't
get set
know.
up.
I don't hate this game. I love this game. I
The
mean, yeah, I
console on
guess
here.
so. Really sticking to us, I guess.
What? Someone said the Daniel Craig edit makes them laugh. What Daniel Craig edit? I don't know what you're talking about. What are you insinuating?
What are you insinuating? That's how I look like. Did you see my ripped bod?
Okay, get the camera to the right size.
Do you even know who that is? Or does he just hear it and he just assumes it's a joke?
Wow, if my mouse wheel would work. This mouse is 10 years old now and it's barely working. I try to use the mouse wheel, it jumps right back up after I scroll down. It's like fighting me. You little shit. You little shit of a mouse. I already got the game fighting me. I don't need my mouse fighting me too. Jeez.
I love how
Okay.
Phil acts like an internet tough guy, but bans
right.
anyone that says
Before we
mean
begin,
words.
I'm just going to run and use the
Yeah.
restroom quick. It's not going to be a long break. It's going to be like a minute or two for me to go pee and just see what my wife's up to. And then we're going to begin. So that's cool. Thank you again, guys. Please support the stream today. The goal is $50 of tips by the end of the stream, but anything is appreciated today. So thanks in advance. And I'll be right back.
All right. So how long did we go on break? And $5 on the clock. We only peed for about 4 minutes. So I guess the diabetes isn't kicking in so bad. Come back.
And then
Come back. What are we gonna do?
and then let's get back to this Dragon Knight boss. Get him done. Figure out what's going on with that. And then go do that. I told you there's one point of grace with a bunch of NPCs and an upgrade item I missed. I want to do that. I want to belch loud and uncontrollably. And then I want to respec.
I mean, he does have control over it.
What to respec, I don't know. Like, I think the most interesting weapon is the claws, but I don't think that's going to work against any boss. I really feel like the claws would be very weak against bosses, so. Darth Goldbox says, how's it going? I'm watching some other streamers trying Jump R2 builds. They're having some issues. I mean, that build was crazy when the game first came out. I don't know if it's anywhere near as good now or if it's even been nerfed. You know, it's pretty ridiculous to Jump R2 build. I don't want to do that ever again. I did it for the whole first run. After that, that's enough of that shit. Okay.
Wow. What are the chances we're gonna have Jump R2?
How many
come
larval
back,
tears
though?
do I have? I think a ton. Let's
I
take a
feel
look.
like we're
I'm
gonna
pretty
get
sure
a
I'm
heavy
one
weapon
of
and
them.
Jump
I use a
R2
single
is here
one.
to stay.
Where the hell would they be?
I'm calling it now. I've already predicted it.
I don't know where they are. Oh,
Two.
no, it's a stupid decent butterfly. Are these all the crafting items? Where the goddamn are they?
Where the goddamn are they?
The fuck are they? I don't know where they are. 9. That's a lot. And by the way, there's a ton more I know I can get. I just didn't get them. I never bought one from a vendor either. So any vendor that has them, I have. So I have a lot of respecing I can do. So. Okay, everyone. So we're back. It is day 2 of me playing the Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. All right. And as
I'm
you
getting used
know,
to it, guys. I'm not gonna be here for too
I
much
have
longer.
to rethink things a bit. Certainly.
I just want to
feel
see
like
how the intro went and then how
going
the
about
rest
the game the way
went.
I'm going about it right now is just not working. I need to rethink my strategies, which is fine, by the way. It's okay to do that. I think we're gonna respec today, but I want to go ahead and kill this boss. What's this, Dragon Knight? Gotta kill him first.
Oh, this might be interesting. So what kind of cheese did we learn from this?
Immediately hit me with lightning. Wow, I got fucked. Yeah, I'm fucked. He threw lightning right from the get-go. Wow, I couldn't get away from him. Throwing the lightning from the get-go screws you over bad. As you can see, you do pretty good damage just hitting them with the magic blade.
Don't worry, he'll get him eventually.
I'm trying not to get hit by lightning as soon as I walk in.
Just gotta give him enough time. He'll find the cheese. I shouldn't call it cheese, but you know.
Oh, there we go. Okay, good. Oh, what the fuck? You still hit me. Tank. See, that spin slash has a tanking mechanic.
Tanking mechanic. Tanking mechanic? Huh? What does that mean?
Yeah, it is. There's a tank.
Tanking mechanic. Such an odd way to describe that.
Okay, I got away from that. Oh, teleported into me. Oh, that's the move that kills me. That teleport spin slash. And by the way, the music is so fucking loud. It actually annoys me.
Really?
The music is jarring and pisses me off. It's too fucking loud. I just lowered it in my earphones.
Yeah,
the music
but not
is
for us.
way too loud.
Yeah, not for us.
It actually bothers me, so I just lowered my fucking neck phones to try to concentrate on the fight.
Yeah, everybody else gets to suffer with the loud music. Him?
God damn, it's hard
we
to
can avoid
think.
it.
So I can get him, once I get him down to the third of health, I think he starts doing more teleports, and that's where the fight actually gets pretty tough. There it is. See, when he starts doing the tank moves, that's when I'm done. As soon as he tanks it out, you're gonna get fucked. You're gonna lose almost all your health, and that's a big problem in this fight.
How many guides has Phil watched before this? He already admitted that he was watching some dude with his wife last night.
I want to try Combat Azure. He does run straight for you at the beginning.
At least one.
I'm gonna try it. I don't think it's gonna work, but I'm gonna try it.
Who knows how many after that, though? Jade's message today, I not fan of this.
Not what I wanted.
I not fan of this. Yeah.
Just kill me. I don't even care. I can't even see him. My helmet is so big, I literally never saw the boss.
I gotta turn him down. I actually have to fucking turn him down.
Was there someone in this room?
The volume is just so fucking blaring that I can't even hear myself think.
Yeah, I pressed the wrong button.
As he sits there and he's like, yeah, man, I turned down the music on my end. Well, what about the viewers? The viewers just gotta listen to this at full blast?
My fault. You know what else I haven't used yet? The giant meteor spell. I can't assign it now because I'm at the Stake of America.
I feel like I should care about this whole run and everything. I should care about his gameplay and should restream him today. But, like, this is so ass. Part of me doesn't want to spoil myself. Because at some point, no, not 5 years from now, like a year from now, I'm gonna get this on the fucking PC and I'm gonna play it again instead of playing it on the PS4. That's number one.
What's going on right now? Look at
Number
this.
two, we're sitting here and we're fucking screaming, yelling, complaining because we're not really playing the game. We're just kind of hoping that the game kind of gives us the free win.
Teleport electric slash.
And look at this.
Through everything.
We're just coming up with excuses, the camera, the weapon, my moves aren't coming out, on fight he's doing flash kicks and shit.
First time,
I don't respect any of this. This is fucking trash. Just respect. Get the fuck out of here.
It's really stupid. Maybe I should just go back to the armor set I was using.
It's been shit from the start, and he knows it's been shit from the start. He's trying to pretend that he hasn't just made wasted the last like hour and a half of just talking and bloviating about this game. But we really have. Okay, well, I can raise him up now. Actually, you know what? I can skip. Well, never mind. I thought he was doing a whole change up. He really didn't. He just changed up his gear. All right, he can win. He'll eventually win. You know what? I'm gonna zoom ahead. He eventually wins this fight, right? Yeah, probably. I actually don't know. Oh no, we didn't win this fight. Oh wait, we probably did.
He missed.
Maybe. Or maybe he gave up.
God damn it.
Yeah, no, he did. He actually does. At some point, he actually does win the fight. There you go. I spoiled you. I spoiled you on this worthless fucking gameplay. So now you can be mad at me. I kind of want to skip ahead. I don't even care about the fucking salt. Hey, he's an Elden Ring expert, all right. All right, let's take a look. What a Josh poem post up.
Here's the tank.
Suddenly knows of 3 items he missed and where they're located. Yeah, you know what? No surprise. Again, no fucking surprise. He literally watched somebody play this fucking game. He got nowhere on the first day. 5 hours, he got no progress. Of course he suddenly knows where to go and what to do. He told us where to go and what he needed to do. And what he missed. It's no surprise.
I'm done. I'm done. I had him too. He tanked me.
Yeah, I'm just skipping this. I'm skipping this portion. I'm just going to go to the point where right before he wins. That way you guys can be salty at him winning. Instead of him losing like fucking 50 times. Let's hear about how all the cool things that he could do and what he can build and shit, right?
Super armor.
Here we go. How did we beat him? What did we do differently this time? Let's see what we did differently.
You either have to keep hitting the stagger, which is dealing big damage, or you only hit every once in a while, but you'll never stagger. So what's the trade-off there?
What they'll do different. Slash him again. Slash him a 3rd time. Properly parried, or not parried, dodged. Gets a stagger, hits him. That's pretty good.
Super armor. I tried to heal twice, it didn't work.
What's up, Shy? I'm gonna be stopping this here in a bit because I'm gonna go cook dinner. I just wanted to see how far he got in this. He beats this boss that he's been having a tough time with, which is just a normal guy. These are like the other areas where he fights like a knight or something. And it's kind of strong, but it's not that strong. What the fuck is up with his shit today? I swear to God. Fucking load this. I'm gonna put this at 720p.
Super armor!
Hit him. Just hit him once. You got him. Yay, we did it.
Got him.
Yay.
Oh. So much fucking super armor. We did get the axes.
Yeah, he knew.
Cool. We did get the axes because I want to see if they're good. I might use them. Oh, good shit. We got the fucking axes. And by the way, look whose face is in here.
Go ahead and
look whose face is in here.
Whose face is
Godwin, right?
I don't know. Is it? You tell us.
Let's take a look at these axes. The Death Knight's twin axes.
Appreciate it.
It's exactly what I thought it was going to be. Strength, dex, and faith. Golden War axes of the Death Knight.
My
a pair
God.
of weapons made.
No, I don't need a fucking history lesson. Jesus
it ain't
Christ.
doing it for me. Oh.
Acting like he just took a massive shit. Oh! Mickey Mouse.
So let's
coming
get
out of the
Give Me
bathroom.
Balance back on the leaderboard here. As for the super chat. Thank you for being patient.
I mean, winning by spamming that attack is fine. It's a viable build, and I'm not going to give him shit for that. What I am going to give him shit for is the fact that he looked up a fucking... He looked up somebody else playing, and he pretended he's not looking at guides. He did. He spoiled himself. Inherently, by the pre-stream today, he told us he spoiled himself. So I don't want him to pretend that he's not doing the thing that he's actually doing.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, we're gonna rebuild. I like these axes, so I think that's what we're doing. Faith Lightning build again. We're going back to Dick Lightning, but we're not gonna be tossing it like he was. Okay, so.
If it's the same post,
so
binding
there's actually
2 items. Let's see.
A point of grace.
Well, trying a new weapon, they said that it will do this. Who is they? Nobody in the game said anything about what the weapon does.
I want to do that.
Oh, God.
I want to do that point of grace, and then we'll go respec. What's up, X-Shooter? How are you today?
Yeah, see, there's just... Don't ever be surprised by Phil. Phil is always lying to you, all the time.
In front of that gate.
He will do whatever he can to get away with lying. This dude is not truthful. He is not honest.
Let's go do it.
He does not play this game.
Yeah, I was watching
cold turkey.
Another streamer play the game only the first couple hours. So I'm way past where they are.
Uh-huh.
And they fucking found a point of grace here. I was like, what? I didn't know there was a point of grace over here with NPCs and all kinds of important shit.
Listen to that again. Listen to that again. He's pretending he got somewhere in his last fucking playthrough. He didn't.
Let's go do it. Yeah, I was watching another streamer play the game only the first.
Oh my God. I hate this fucking bitrate that he has it. I can't tell if it's fucking Twitch. Not Twitch. I can't tell if it's YouTube. I can't tell if it's fucking Firefox. I can't tell what the fuck it is.
Couple hours.
But I can't watch him in 1080p
and
sometimes.
they fucking found a point of grace here. I was like, what? I didn't know there was a point of grace over here with NPCs and all kinds of important shit. Like, oh, how did I miss that? Because remember, I was hugging this wall. So I completely missed this right here. See this?
Wow. So Phil missed the very obvious tree sitting dead center in front of him.
Multiple NPCs to talk to. We have one of these Stakes of America.
I swear this was like the first playthrough.
Coalesce. I abandoned here the first of the flesh of my body.
Yeah, you know what?
A skidoo tree fragment. Yeah.
It really was like his first playthrough where he kind of missed the first person he was supposed to talk to. And he just kind of beelined and just said, fuck it, YOLO.
Yes, which we need. I don't think we can upgrade, though.
You can get the horse till a little bit too late and shit. Oh, man. I'm not using fucking Chrome. Fuck Chrome.
Never mind. Oh, yes. Nice. Well, that was worth it. Holy shit. Okay.
Hell yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff there.
Stuff.
Let's talk to these NPCs.
Okay.
So does this woman look familiar? Guess who this is? This is the summon for the Dancing Lion. We saw her outside the door, but I guess this is where you actually get to talk to her.
Ah, Lady Ledger spoke of you. You're that tarnished. Guided here by kindly Mick General friends.
Give you a... So, yeah, I gotta figure this out. By the way, it's pronounced Skadoo Tree, like Shadow Tree,
Yeah,
Skadoo Tree. That's how you're supposed to say it, but I say Skadoo Tree just because I think it's stupid.
I agree, Phil. I also think of whatever you say is stupid, so that's why I make fun of you every single time you say something stupid, or you slur something, or you accidentally say the N-word, and then you end up getting banned off of fucking Twitch. But you don't actually get banned, but you say you get banned. In reality, you got moderated. You got removed from the partner program. That's pretty cool. I agree.
By Marika long betrayed, set aflame.
I'm gonna get to the part where he cares or he doesn't care. I'm already fucking bored of this.
Tip. From an anonymous tipper, the game's bullshit. Don't you feel bad about using a cheesy build? They went way too far with the difficulty this time. I don't know what's cheesy, but I think I'm gonna use these dual axes, okay?
I don't know what's cheesy, but you know, definitely not what I'm doing.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So I want to respec. People are saying I should equip the weapon to see what it looks like. Get to these dual axes. Here they are.
I'm surprised he's never used dual axes before.
You got a two-hand, right?
Yeah. That's how you pull out the second axe.
Here we go. Let's see.
Yeah, pretty standard.
That's a pretty cool combo. Heavies.
Just for fun.
Charge heavies. Slam. Jumping R2. Only one axe slam.
Yeah.
That's jumping R1. Sadly, I can't see what the blade art is. This would be it. You charge it with lightning. You go forward. And they said if you do this, you press heavy attack.
They say
Whoa!
if you do this. Yeah, you're right. Who is they? They say if you do this. Yeah. But he doesn't look up guides and he doesn't watch anybody who plays these things or anything. But they say if you do this, it'll do a thing.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah?
Because you get to go so far. And
I guess they do say
whoa,
that,
that's
huh?
neat.
Who is they?
I like that. That is neat.
I don't really need to see much more of this. This is fucking
Very
ass.
excellent. All right.
This is absolute fucking
Well,
ass. I'm not gonna fucking watch this today. I have better things to do. I'm gonna go make dinner. I'll probably be on a little bit later. I don't know if I'm gonna do Monster Hunter. It might be Monster Hunter. I'm gonna talk to the guys. If not, it may end up being I don't know. It could be a karting of some sort. I'll have to figure it out, but I'm pretty much done for right now. I'm sorry if this is disappointing you, that I'm not going to restream the whole thing, or that I'm not doing a long continuous stream. I'm sorry, but I don't know. I'm not that worried about that right now. It is what it is. I am kind of glad this stupid Saleblazers game. I know this was like a pickup for a lurkit thing, but I will say this. I've been loving the shit out of this game, and I've been playing this offline, and I've been playing this a lot. And I don't know how this game has not gotten a little bit more recognition from some meme streamer or something. The multiplayer aspect is kind of funny. The fact that you can go around murdering people is hilarious. The weapon choices are fucking funny as shit. I have peons that are now running my shop whenever it's open and close time. I make them work until they're ready to basically die. And that's a good thing. Maybe. I don't know. It's probably a good thing, but not to HR. HR is probably going to yell at me. We even have Saru's built a nice area for them to rest and relax at. The employees only lounge is where they can sit and take their coffee breaks. And they do sit and take their coffee breaks, by the way. And we have the manager's office where they sit in, they get disciplined. You know what I just realized? This is perfect. This is actually the perfect place for that stupid painting. I did not think about this. I was like, you can stick it in the bedroom, right? No. No, actually, in reality, it's going downstairs. I did not think about this at all. Shit, this would have been a perfect spot. It's menacing. I should probably put it the right way. All right, we gotta rotate it and then do it like that. Oops. Okay, can I just do this, but like that? Yeah, like that. There you go. That way, when you're getting interviewed at HR, you can have this menacing painting looking at you. This makes so much more sense. I'm gonna find some more paintings. It's a dust portrait? I don't know. It probably is. It looks pretty cool. There's a lot of like, I feel like they had to have done an acid flip on this, but there's so much nonsense. Literal nonsense. Get the fuck out of my fucking store. I've been having way too much fun with this game. I actually can highly recommend it. Everything from the jankiness of police officers having like fucking glow-in-the-dark cyber batons to fighting cowboys and samurais and shit. This game has everything. Literally has everything. And the fact that I can make my slave labor do all the work for me. I gotta give them uniforms at some point. Once I give them a nice cool uniform and they all look the same, this game will be perfect. Only that one has a uniform right now. She just has a work apron. I gotta have them all with work aprons. One final one. What is this last one? Let's take a look. knows exactly how to respec himself, but he doesn't even have a build in mind for these weapons before going to respec. Suddenly while respecing, stops and says, I need your help to respec myself so I know what to do. This is all fake. Yeah, this is all 100% fake. Don't fucking believe any of this shit. If you're excited and watching DSP's fucking stupid ass playthrough, just be there for the salt, but just know that everything's pre-planned. He's gonna know exactly what needs to be done, what he needs to fucking get as his gear. Everything is already predetermined. Even the tips, I feel, are gonna be predetermined. And when it comes in, don't cry that he made like fucking $300, $400, $500 on a fucking day stream. It's all according to plan. DSP is fake and everything is fake about him.
Shit, bro.
Everything is fake.
Oh, that shit hurt my tit, bro, really bad. I just, oh man.
Pickups, Vippin' Devil.
Where's the screw on this?
He's just having fun.
The screw came off.
Just
No,
doing
the
some
screw
maintenance
came
on the
off
chair.
Shit.
Doing some
Look at
maintenance
how
on the
Offset
chair.
felt when he fell out of his chair during Kai's.
All right, we're sending you guys somewhere. Let's see who's currently live and watching DSP, so you can continue watching DSP and his fake ass fucking build. I see Shroom Dukem is currently live. He's watching Elden Ring. How long has he been on for? Shroom Dukem has been alive for an hour and 46 minutes. He's watching the guy.
By the way, hold on. Let's make sure with the.
He's watching the guy. He's criticizing the guy, which means you guys get to listen to the guy talk about the guy. Look at this. I found the perfect spot for you guys to go to. The perfect spot. We're sending you over here. There's not going to be a raid message because I don't have a raid message to give. But if I did, it probably wouldn't be clever. Obviously. Obviously.
55 for the vigor.
All right. Have fun over at Shroom Dukem's place. I will be back a little bit later today. I'll probably play something stupid. I don't know if it's going to be carts. I don't know if it's going to be testing out the 3DS. You know what? I will be testing out the 3DS probably after I make dinner and figure out what I want to do. It'll be something. And then tonight is anime night. We're looking forward to anime night. I've been looking forward to it forever because we're going to be doing some send-offs for some games. Finally sending off games. I'm sorry, sending off shows. What the fuck? I'm getting too wrapped up. I'm getting too wrapped up in the idea of playing video games that I'm calling anime video games. But we have 2 shows that are wrapping up. And after that, we're gonna have 2 hours of dead weeks where we're gonna have to find something to watch. Don't worry, I got a whole bunch of shows ready to go. Oh well. Okay, bye. We'll see you in Discord chat, guys. If you're in the Discord, I'll be in there momentarily. Please say hi to Shroom Dukem. He's a cool guy. And he likes to make fun of the guy. He also likes weed. Say happy 420 to Shroom Dukem. Because it's 420 somewhere. And it'll also be 420 in like 40 minutes. Tell him that. Tell him it's 420 in 40 minutes.